Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
God, we're going to hear about John Wall tonight. Remix.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
I don't think he realizes what happened. I don't think he realizes what happened.
No.
Oh, I realized what happened on my first rodeo. I had to mute the mic. Call 101 radio class. If I got to mute a little bit of music, that's what happens. Welcome in, everybody. Man Friday, going on AT Radio. We're all live from still our own Real Talk studios. But every show we are brought to by our doc, make them yours. Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Jake Friel, Brian Daly in the house. Everybody out there, join us. What's up, what's up, what's up? It's Fan Friday. A chance for you guys to call in and give it to us a little bit or agree. Agree, disagree radio. All right, that's what we're here to do. All right, and we're here to, kumbaya after. So we got a lot to talk about. NFL picks against the spread. Get you a little walking around money. Eagles versus Saints predictions. We'll get a little bit deeper into that. Little football Friday as Friday comes to an end here. Give you a little football Friday action and give you some predictions, Eagles Saints, and go a little bit deeper into it. And is there any chance the Eagles win? Do you have any? What's your confidence level in a win? And we'll get into that. Right? Is there anybody that you really outside of Jalen Hurts that you're looking at and maybe you're excited about? I don't know. If there is people, please tell me so I can look for some guys to get excited about Sunday, because it has been doom and gloom here. So that's why we're going to do something a little different. And we're going to talk about the best Philly athletes, 28 and under. All right? So from all the sports, listen, if you're going to come to me with Union guys, just go home. It's too late for that. All right? Too late. I'm not doing soccer tonight. The four majors here in Philly, you can call me whatever you want to call me. I don't care. We're going to do the four majors, and we're going to talk about the best Philly athletes, 28 or under. We'll have lists of 10 guys. And break it down for you, and then we want you guys to come up with lists, even if it's your top 5 Philly athletes, 28 or under. It's not. If you would have asked us a year ago, I think this list would have been feeling a little bit better in certain ways, right? And then in other ways, it's a little bit better too. If you're a big-time diehard Flyers fan, this list feels a lot better to you for your Flyers guys, 28 or under, right? So, if you're a big-time Eagles fan, you're hunting. I don't know what I feel good about, right? If you're Phillies, you're like Harper, and then there's some things, but I mean, it is what it is, right? And then your Sixers, you got some guys that you still feel really good about. So I think it's going to be a fun list. It's going to be fun to dissect. It all ties into our poll question brought to you by Ambuck Services, AMBUCK Services.com, 20% off. Telling the boys from A2D sent you. Gutters, gutter guards, gutter installations. They got you covered. AmbuckServices.com. Our poll question, Joel Embiid is currently the best athlete in Philadelphia. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where you can find us live. Everywhere you get your podcast, we're there as well. Like, subscribe, follow, download. Come join the conversation tonight, right? It's a different show here on A2D Radio where we send you out the link. You email, you don't email. You DM us on any of our social platforms, and we'll get you the link to jump in with us. You can come camera on, camera off. Doesn't matter. Come talk to us tonight. This is now our third Fan Friday, and the first two were a ton of fun, right? We had Yusuf tell us about how great Washington was, and that's lived up to fruition. We got silently destroyed that night. You know what I mean? He was just like, what, guys, this is how we're better. And we just got verbally assaulted, and Washington's been good since, so that's interesting. We've had a lot of good ones. So a lot of fun. Last week we had a bunch of guys in at the same time. We're willing to do that. I know Todd Philly Dilly, Womack. He came all the way from Germany. He was in. So no matter where you're at, you can get in here. Right? I say, listen, we did a gender reveal for my wife over this during quarantine, right? And we did it. It was easy, right? My mother can get in, right? You can get in too. That might be my line. Hey, my mom, it's so easy. My mom can join. You can join too. Here we go. Let's talk about it. To the poll question. Joel Embiid is currently the best athlete in Philadelphia. Joel Embiid is currently the best athlete in Philadelphia. Agree or disagree? It's a tough question. It's tough because I know people are going to tell me Harper, right? I know there's going to be the Harper train. I know there's going to be the Carter Hart train. I know there's going to be some other trains. There'll be some other trains. You would ask me a year ago, probably more people would have Carson Wentz on that. Say, no, it's 11, right? Well, that's aged. That's aged well and not in a good way. All right. And now, who's came out of this, who, didn't have the best year last year, right? Didn't bring it every night. After the Karl Anthony Towns fight, his fight went away, right? A little bit, right? Everybody sort of felt that. Okay, sort of coasted. And then when the playoffs came around, things got hard for him. And nobody was around. And things became really hard for him, especially when you're a big man. So, but over his stretch and what we expect from him, right? From what we're asking for him to do, okay? And what he was drafted to do, and everything that goes around with trust the process. And we've seen how great his skill set is, right? We see how dominant he is when he's on the court, right? We all see it. Everybody with eyes sees it. Okay? I'm going to say agree. And I know people are going to say, well, how? There's other guys, I know there is. There's not a ton to choose from, though. Carter Hart doesn't have a long enough sample size to be put on this list right now. Okay? That's the facts of it. I need another year of that. And then we start really talking about the best athlete in the city, right? 1 year, right, is not long enough, no matter what you did at lower levels, right, to prove anything more than what we know. We knew he was special. He's been special. Now you got to do it again, right? And that's the hardest thing in sports. Can you do it again? And I think he does, right? I think he absolutely does. I'm not concerned about it. But in 2020, I'm concerned about everything. So, you know what I mean? Concerned about everything. So until he does it again, I'm going to leave him off of my best athlete. I just don't think it's fair to other guys. Harper's been doing this a long time at a high level, right? Baseball, it's like, for me to call my best athlete, it's hard because baseball's such a team sport too, that it's different than basketball, right? So, to me, so much goes into being the best athlete in Philly. If you're a quarterback and you're playing at a high level, you're always in that conversation of best athlete in Philly, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so it depends your position, what sport you're playing. To me, all this factors in to my best athlete. I can make a case for Ben for it too. I can make a strong case for Ben Simmons. It's just Joel Embiid's more dominant.
Yep.
Right, and that's factual. So. What Tor? What do you want me to say, Tor? What do you want me to give it to Carson? Am I gonna give it to Carson? He's had a terrible year. He doesn't deserve to be on this list right now. And somebody's got to make a strong argument to put him on that list. Now, top under 28, yeah, he's on that list because we still have a high upside for him. You know what I mean? But he can't be on the best athlete in Philly list. That's a what have you done for me lately thing too, even though we know Joel didn't have his best year last year. It was still better than Carson. Right? It was still better than Carson. And he was sluggish. Shit. So, to me, who has the best chance? Who has the best chance to bring a trophy to Philadelphia? You think about that right now. And then who would be carrying that franchise there? Well, that's going to be probably the Sixers, in my opinion, the way they're built and the direction I think they're going. They're the closest team to a championship. Flyers are close, but they need more scoring. Not enough scoring for me. It's just, no. If people come in and talking the Flyers are the closest, you're out of your fucking mind right now. Get me some scoring. Give me some guys who can snipe 50, and we'll bring the Flyers into the conversation. Until then, no Flyers. All right? They're close. They're not as close as the Sixers. And the Sixers with the pieces and the roster now around these two kids, it's a make or break season for them in a lot of ways. But I'm going to agree. Boys, what do you guys say to the poll? Joel Embiid is currently the best athlete in Philadelphia. Agree or disagree? And it's tough because there's not a lot of guys. You know what I mean? It's slim pick in city here. It's not as delicious as it once was, and that's how much the quarterback impacts this city. He impacts the other sports. He's the reason John Middleton claimed he was broke. He's like, you believe this shit? This guy's playing like shit. John, you don't own the Eagles, John.
Wrong team.
Jersey sales are down. Sorry, John. You know what I mean? We're doing our best.
We lost $2 billion because of the quarterback. I'm surprised that wasn't an excuse.
So, to me, I want to know what everybody out there that's joining us. Let us know who your guy is. Who's your best athlete in Philadelphia? And I'm curious to know. Okay, sorry. Chrome is agreeing. Yep, he's agreeing about Carter Hart. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he does need to give me another one. That's all. It's not a shot. I just need another one. That's how it goes. We've crowned too early in this city, and we sure as hell don't want to do it with a goddamn goaltender, do we? As long as we waited, this is what we're doing. We're putting don't put pussy on a pedestal. We're gonna start putting a goaltender on a pedestal. That's what we're doing. Boys, go ahead. I mean, I fucking rambled. I went 11. It was an 11-piece intro. 11-piece intro. The people out there, take notes on that. All right? Take notes on 11-piece intro. Jake, one of you guys want to go first?
Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
I'll go first. To me, it's a pretty easy agree. I mean, obviously, just given the fact of how badly Carson Wentz has played this year, I think obviously if he played well, we'd be talking about Carson Wentz in this conversation. But right now, it's Joel Embiid. From top to bottom, Bryce Harper's really good, but when you think of Philadelphia, like Philadelphia athletes, at least right now in 2020, the first one you think of is Joel Embiid.
Yeah, sorry. Yep.
Chrome, especially if one of those has an opposing T-shirt, right? Opposing team T-shirt. Violence incoming. Broken collar talk. Broken collar.
Somebody say Blue Lagoon.
Yeah. Banded walls.
Sorry, Jake.
Some jerseys might get ripped. Just saying.
Yep.
Guys had an X-Acto knife.
Little clever cutter.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. I said my piece though. I finished. I'm agreeing with the poll.
So did Chrome.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like, listen, that's a great answer, Jake, and not just because I have him, just because I think he's the most realistic, best athlete in the city. Like we're putting a lot of hopes in him, and I know we're putting a lot of hopes in Ben, and I know people are going to say Ben, and fine, you know, because Ben has a track record of being more than just a scorer, but you know, until he totally proves this year that he's willing to do the little things to expand his game, which doesn't mean shoot a three. I don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Until he expands his game, he can't be the best athlete in the city. Like you can't not take a jumper in a league where you take jumpers. And I'm not talking about threes. He doesn't even be Steph Curry, but you can never not take one and then be like, oh yeah, he's you know, this is the best athlete in the city. Then we're in trouble. We're in trouble then. You know, I love Ben. I think he's gonna have a big year. And I think them things are gonna be over with. I don't think he's gonna be doing them things anymore. Turn the basketball over. I mean, not turn the basketball, not shooting or that nonsense. I think it's going to come out of his shell this year. But it's like the Carter Hart thing in a different way. You got to go do it. And as soon as you do, you can leap Joe tomorrow.
True. Well, like we've always talked about, you know, I think Ben, as, you know, polarizing of a name, you know, and a player as he is, I don't think anyone with a brain could say, hey, you know, this guy, if he puts it all together, isn't destined to be one of the better players, if not the best player in the NBA. The key is if he does put it all together. We've seen Joel Embiid put it all together before. And also...
And we've seen him not. We've seen him not, too, to be fair. Like, and still be really good. But we've seen him be lazy. Like people have said, we've seen some of them things, which are all fair things. Just to clarify, like, I'm not crowning him by him being my best athlete in the city. This is sort of where we're at. By the way, too. You know what I mean? Like, that's all. That's where we're.
No, you're right. You're right. But I'm also agreeing to the poll. I'm with Jake. I really didn't have a hard time with this either. And, I'm not somebody who kind of, people are going to be like, oh, well, to your point, Tom, oh, you're crowning Embiid. No, it's number one. It's an example of how uncertain a lot of the people I would imagine on all of our top 10 lists are. And two, like we talked about, Joel Embiid, when you talk about the importance of what he brings to this team, and also if he does, because we all have to talk about, Ben Simmons has to add, a jumper and aggressiveness. I think the biggest thing other than health, obviously, that Embiid needs to add is consistency. You know what I'm saying? But when you talk about dominance, to me, it only comes down, I only had two options for this as far as the best. And I know Prism's saying it has to be Hart. It could eventually be Hart, but like we're talking about, I have a hard time just based off of 1 year. And that 1 year was really good, and the playoffs are really good. But Embiid has been dominant for years. And Simmons, I'm not going to say he's been dominant for years, but the importance level as far as how much he does for a basketball team to succeed, I put both of them ahead of Hart, to be honest. And Embiid's just a little bit higher in regards to being number one than Simmons, in my opinion, just because of the ceiling he's shown. He's flashed more of that ceiling than Simmons has so far. Long term, I think Simmons is going to eventually pass him. But whenever somebody asks us, I know people have asked us on our Wednesday shows a lot the past couple weeks, oh, hey guys, who's a better player, Simmons or Embiid? I think we all say the same thing, and that is right now it's Embiid, but it probably will eventually be Simmons.
It could, right? But listen to the people out there, that are going to tell me it's like Prism. It's it's got to be Carter Hart. And then I don't know how you can't do that. Is Carter Hart ever going to be a top 10 player? And not ever, because he very well could be. But right now, is he a top, even close to being considered a top 10 player in the league?
No. Bry? Carter Hart, top 10 player in the NHL?
Top 10 goalie?
No,
yeah.
Top 10, no, player.
Overall player?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Not yet.
And that's not a shot. It's not.
It's not. There's established players in the league already.
Joel Embiid, close to a top 10 player in basketball?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. I have him 11th. Yeah. I have him 11th.
He's close. He's in there. He might be. Some people might have him 15. Fine. He's closer to 10 than Hart is to 10. Is my point. So you evaluate it by each sport. Is Bryce Harper top 10 player in baseball? Yes. Okay. Most people will tell you yes. Most executives will tell you yes. Some guys don't necessarily believe he is. Okay. But he's still closer to 10 than Carter Hart is right now. Still closer to 10. Even if you have Harper 15. Even if you have Harper 20, I think he's still closer right now. No matter where I think you have these guys, they're still closer to the best in their game, to the other best in their game at in that top 10 than Hart is right this second. Now, we talk about upside, then if we're talking about upside, then it should be Ben Simmons and nobody else. Really. If we're going to talk about looking into the future, then I would say it's Ben. If I'm looking into the future, I'm not crystal balling right now. We're talking about right now. Right now. So I don't know. I don't have a problem with anybody picking. Yeah, but DB, top 5 goal is different than top 5 player or top 10 player. We're talking about top 10 player. He's got to be. Is he a top 10? I love Carter Hart. He's a franchise changer. We know this. But you guys are telling me he's the best athlete in this city right now. Wow. I mean, I think it's such a reach right this second. And first off, I think it's unfair to the kid. I think it's totally unfair.
He's only played 1 full season. It's crazy. Now we're setting the meter to where, hey, these star athletes have to be a top 3, maybe best player in the city after their first full season. Like Chrome, I know you said he played 12 games his rookie year. Full season, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? I can't. I can't. Not yet. Maybe if we do it in a year, sure.
Chrome, where do you got him, Chrome? 12 to 15? Right? I mean, where do you got him, Chrome? 12 to 15? If you say 2 seasons, you're going to count that. You're going to count that. You're counting that now?
He hasn't played 2 full seasons. He just had. Brian, has he played 2 full seasons?
2 full seasons, no.
So
he's technically been in the league 2 years.
But he played what? Like Chrome said,
one
11
full
games?
season, and then he played like 12, somewhere between 12, 13, 14 games, something like that.
I'm
But
gonna explode now. I'm gonna explode. First off, Crum, if you have him 15 to 20 with Embiid, that means he's closer to 10 than Carter Hart is. Okay? Then you want to start putting in, then talk to me about Bryce Harper then. Because that's the argument you would have for me right now. That's the argument people would have would be Harper. And that would be the big time argument we should be having right now, and not about our essential rookie goaltender coming into his second full year, third air quotes to some, doesn't matter, whatever. Okay, that we can't be having this conversation isn't fair to him. Sean Spillman, Shawnee, I love you. This is my guy. He said Embiid is the most disappointing in all caps and then this is what I don't agree with, because he talks so much, but he never closes the deal. He needs to stay off social media and ball out. To me, that's a cop out reason to say why he can't be great. Like, these are things that drive him. Talking shit drives him. So, Sean, why you're the biggest shit talker I know? Why would you want a guy to not be themselves? I don't understand that. That's mind-boggling to me. He's played his best basketball when he's choking dudes out like Towns. Let's get a grip and see when he plays his most aggressive basketball. When he's talking shit. They tried to censor him last year. It was a joke. A joke. They tried censoring him. All right? And I talked about it all last year. I didn't like it. Okay? Let him be who he is. It's what got him to the show. And I don't care about him talking. And you're saying he didn't close a deal yet. He's 26. You know what I mean? He's 26. Close the deal. You name a star that closed the deal before 26. Come on, man. That's hard to do. You know better than that. Has he been disappointing a little bit of time? Sure. Welcome to Philly. But shit, man, I'll take Joel Embiid day in, day out. I'll take a guy who cares. You know what I mean? I'll take any guy who cares. And he cares.
oh, you can tell he cares. And that's why it made it really hard for me to disagree with the poll. I'm going Carter Hart. And for one reason only.
Oh, my goodness.
His work ethic. The kid wants to be great. He never takes time off. Never. I've never seen anybody, especially in this Flyers organization, work as hard as Carter Hart to want to be good, to want to be great, to want to win cups, to want to be a Hall of Famer. The kid shows up every time he's on the ice. He doesn't take shifts off.
No, listen.
And that was the big difference between me picking Hart and Embiid was the work ethic. Everything else, I agree with. He's shown flashes of brilliance. He's shown that he can be a dominant top 3 big man in the league. But like Brodo said, the consistency. That's what put Carter Hart over the top for me.
What's up, Drew? Listen, I'm not gonna to me, this is amazing because I'm gonna make the argument. Now I'm gonna make the argument for Bryce Harper since nobody made it, right? Now I'm gonna really make the argument for Bryce Harper in a team sport. Guy, all he does is put up his numbers for the most part. All he does is you talk about work ethic, you talk about hustle, you talk about all the things you want in a Philly athlete. That's all he's done since he's come here. Has he gone through slumps that I've been pissed off at him? Does he disappear at times at the plate? Yeah. But when he does, he's always going 100 miles an hour, though, still. Mm-hmm. He's never taking at bats off. It's when he gets it, when he tries to pull everything he gets out of who he is. And listen, I mean, he has the track record of the guy who should be the best athlete, because of what he's done. You know what I mean? Do any of these guys have an MVP?
Not yet.
Bryce
I
Harper,
guarantee you Hart's going to have a couple of Vezas by the time his career's over.
Bryce Harper got an MVP?
He's got one.
Can I just ask?
I don't know where that's at either. You know what I mean? Like if he was 35, I would say, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? He's 27. I'm gonna. You know what I mean? He's still. He didn't even get into his prime yet. If you remember, probably baseball wise, like 28 to 31, 32, right?
About that, yeah.
Since the beginning of time when guys really hit their peak. Go ahead, Ryan. What were you going to say?
Well, I was just going to say the other big thing, and I understand it's all about position. And fam at home, we understand, trust me, that we're comparing like a center to a hockey goalie. Like that's the point. Like we understand that. But the other big reason is if you told me, okay, Embiid or Carter Hart, one of these two are taking over their respective league, it's going to be Embiid. You know what I'm saying? And I understand it's harder for a goalie to take over a league, but to me, Joel Embiid has had that aura around him. He's had that expectation around him for so long. And I'm not saying Carter Hart has it. Listen, this guy, since he got here, was like, oh my God, he's the chosen one. He's going to be the answer to all of our problems, with the goalie like we've had for the past 20 plus years. I understand that. But to me, I'm not going to go to a guy to where Chrome, if it's 1 year or if it's 2 seasons, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't. To me, Joel Embiid has been regarded as one of the most dominant athletes in this city for years. He has. He's shown it more, and I understand Carter Hart is the victim of that because he's been around for a shorter amount of time. But to me, I understand the Carter Hart thing, and he's in my top 3. But based off of what we've seen so far in the sample size, I'm going Embiid here, and I don't think it's close.
No, I get it.
Close. Yeah, it's close to. It's a lot closer to Harper.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Wilson said Harper, and that's why, I lean more towards Harper and Embiid here than I do Carter Hart. And that's not a shot at him.
No.
And I don't try to look. I try to look at what he did at this level, not what he did at any other level or anything outside of the National Hockey League. And he's been extremely good, and he's been that franchise goalie we needed. And I know Crumb's saying, well, he's more important than Joe because of the position he plays. And I'm like, I don't know, because superstars win in the NBA. So I don't necessarily care the position you play. Superstars win. So that's what we're hoping Joe is. And we're hoping Carter Hart is as well. It's like we're almost fighting over our own kids away here. You know what I mean? And Wilson says Carter Hart isn't there yet. I agree. Listen, you got to look at he's a top 10 player in his sport right now, guys. Chrome, lock in. Lock in. I'm going to tell you, too, because you got to pick Carter Hart. You don't have a choice. Hockey Happy out here, ATP every Thursday. You don't have a goddamn choice. Chrome does, okay? And it's asinine for him to pick him. It's flat out asinine because the fact that he's not going to either put Harper on his list because of his allegiance to the Cardinals, or he's not going to put Embiid on his list for whatever reason because the center position doesn't matter. So we might as well just not even play with the center this year.
Stars matter. Stars matter.
No, absolutely. And I totally agree.
Harper's there. Harper's the other guy in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'll be honest with you. My top 3 guys are the guys we're arguing about right now. That's my top 3.
Yeah, right
and
there.
Close. They're all close.
I would put Carson. This is going to be. People aren't going to like this. People aren't going to like this. Carson's still over Carter Hart to me. Right now. I can't do that, dude. So 5 years in, Carter Hart has the worst year of his career, and then we're going to get rid of him? Think about it.
Listen.
2 and 2 together.
I'm
not
glad
going
you
to
said
take
it.
him out of here yet.
Nope.
Freak out of here. He looks like shit this year, by the way. But Carson Wentz still gets a nod to me over Carter Hart because there's been a bigger track record.
Yeah,
Rain books.
No,
Yeah,
I absolutely get it. I really do. The sample size is small with Carter Hart, but everything that I'm seeing as far as games go, his off the ice stuff that he does, the training, to me, it's his work ethic. Like Harper's got the same mentality. Joel depends on the day. He's got it. When he's on, it's like you guys said, dominance, top 3 guy, top 3 center in the league. But it's a consistency for me that separates it all.
Hold on.
Hart's been incredibly consistent so far.
John, you hockey. I still I love both. That doesn't like hockey. I love hockey. I like jabs, and I love jabs. But by the way, okay, John, how am I off my goddamn rocker? Because I'm sitting here stating facts to you. I'm saying facts to you. We're going to put a guy who's won an MVP under Carter Hart. That's what we're going to do. Wow, we're delusional. Okay, then we're going to take the best player in his position, the first or second maybe second best player center in the NBA, and we're going to put Carter Hart above him. Okay, a potential top 10 player in his league. Bryce Harper, top 10 player in his league, or at least top 20. Both are at least top 20.
Yep.
Even if you have them low, and we're going to put them over a guy over 1 year and 12 games, okay, for Chrome. All right, to confirm.
No. It was 30 something now.
Fuck it. Then a year and 30 games, and then we're gonna then say, a guy who we've seen play at a high level at the quarterback position outside of this year, we're now going to put the goalie over him, over that sample size. But that same sample size is what put Carson ahead of everybody here beforehand. So I'm not going to take, if I would have did this 2 years ago, I'm not going to take Carson. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to pull Carson out. One bad year. He stays at number 3. Now, Carter Hart coming in, we have the same conversation next year. Guess who could be number 1? Carter Hart. So y'all better calm the hell down, Carter Hart and me. Carter Hart and me. Go shut up. It's not Carter Hart is not the best athlete in the city. We're never really Crown City.
I don't know what I got to read this real quick. It says it does matter. I listened to you guys crown Carson and Embiid in year 2.
So did you.
I was gonna say, do you not listen to your own shows? And it says again, I have Embiid and Hart is a clear. So you have Embiid and Hart. So what are you arguing? That's what we have. We all. I can't. I feel like people listen to the wrong things on this list, and to say he has done enough for consideration in his NHL career isn't accurate. He's played only 12 less games with identical numbers in both years. Carried that team in a lot in the playoffs, more than Ben or Joe has.
Okay, cool story. And they didn't get they were the number 1 seed, right? And they didn't get to where they wanted to get to. So good, cool story. And I know he played great. And you guys are acting like, you know what? You guys are all off your goddamn rockers, by the way. Okay, Marquise asked me what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a Bang. And second off, anybody can come on here and debate me. It's Fran Friday. Ask for the link. You shall receive. Okay. At the end of the fucking day, you got to tell me off my rocker. I got the kid 4th. I got the kid 4th, and I'm off my rocker. You guys act like I'm like, he's not even in the top 5 athletes in this city. He's not even top 10. He's 4th on my list. 4th. Shit, I got an MVP ahead of him, who actually has hardware to prove it. All right. I got who I think is the best athlete in this city, Joe, because I think he has a tremendous upside still, right? And that's some stun talk, okay? And then I put Carson right now because he's played at a high level, man. Shit, 1 year does not dictate your career. You can get put on the bench right now because you stink, but your career isn't over. You know what I mean? So if we're gonna do that with every athlete, if Carter Hart has a bad year, God forbid, we're gonna say, hey, he's not gonna anymore. Come on.
It's what Philly does, man. Nobody can have a bad year. Nobody.
Wow.
Oh, he has a bad year. His career is over. Get him out of here. He's no good. Nobody can ever rebound in this city, but yet Philly's so quick to give up on guys. We see guys leave this city all the time and then have rebound years. How many times does that happen?
Too many.
Way too many.
That Prism makes the most sense out of any of the comments. Prism makes the most sense with
Before you go to Prism, go before Prism. Because you're talking about a Giants fan talking about an Eagles quarterback, which I think is extremely relevant to the conversation, too. And then we're going right to you, Priz. Sean Spielman, Carson Wentz is greater than Carter Hart. Wentz had one bad season, which happens. I'm shocked people haven't said Jalen Hurts most dominant yet. And it's true. Marquise, no home field, no Super Bowl. Changed my mind. Number 11. No, and you're right. You're right. Nobody forgets that. Nobody forgets that. Would have been an MVP. So, we can't say woulda, shoulda, coulda, but the numbers speak for that, which was going to happen. Prism. Go ahead, right? You can read Prisms out.
If I'm building a sports franchise and they say take one player from a Philly sports team to start with, I'm taking Carter Hart. That's how I see it. And that makes sense because you look at what he's done so early, you look at the age, you look at the importance. That I understand. That's a great argument point. That's a great argument point. But I just think Embiid means a little bit more to the city. And I think Simmons, like I've said, to me, there's only 4 people. I think we can all agree with this. There's only 4 people in this city that you could even argue could be number 1. Like it's Harper,
5.
Carson.
Yeah, there's 5 because none of them have you know what I mean? None of them blown anybody out of the water here.
Okay.
If you look at Carson's number over the years, he did play well. You don't take out this year because it's horrendous, so you leave it right in there. But if you look at the sample size, it's arguably in the conversation as one.
Mhm.
He's got a ring. He's the only one with the ring here, too. So he's the only one who proved. And listen, they were going to Super Bowl. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Okay, they were going there anyway. That team was destined to go there. Okay, they weren't sputtering when he got hurt. He was freaking Dion, and then he threw another touchdown on a torn ACL and MCL. Okay, never forget. Never forget. Everybody said he's not tough. Oh, you idiots! Oh, he's not tough. Carson's not tough. He's so mentally tough. Threw a freaking touchdown with a torn ACL and MCL. So pretty tough to me. So like he has a sample size to be argued in the top five. I mean, number one. Joe has a sample size to be argued in number one. Carter Hart has a sample size to be argued. Not a sample size, but has shown in his little sample size, he has an argument to be one. Ben has an argument to be one. All five of these guys have an argument to be one. And honestly, I think if you really, everybody said, oh, you start a franchise with Carter Hart. Well, a lot of people tell you, no, I'll start with Bryce Harper. There's going to be people that tell you they would start with Ben Simmons because how unselfish he is and the things he can do. So there's arguments for every part of them. And that's actually a good thing, right? Like that actually makes it like maybe these five, because they need to be them five, right? It's so important to this city and Broad Street that all five of these guys make it really hard to pick it next time we do, right? Because this time wasn't as hard.
No.
Because Harper didn't win an MVP here, so people were just going to take it away, but it still goes into his track record, right, and his resume. So it's like we can't. So the more I think about it, like I'm not like Uncle Harper here.
No, I'm very surprised to hear you, and you're not just. I mean, you're justified in saying it. I'm just surprised.
I get mad at him because I know the adjustments he should make, and he takes too long with them. I say it all the time. Like when he goes into slumps, he takes too long. He knows better. You know better, bro. You know better to live away. You're too smart for that. And then you get in your mindset of hitting ball 700, and then you strike out too much. Power hitters strike out. I get it. So, he plays great defense, and he makes up for things too. And he's a Philly for a long time. He's not a national anymore. You put on my colors, I can be mad at you and be critical and still keep it real, though, at the same time. His numbers speak to be the first guy. His numbers speak to be the first guy. He's like, I can't believe I took Joe because he's really my kid. But if you really want to argue it, somebody could come on and be like, time. It's nobody gave this argument, so I'm being the guy who did the Bryce Harper argument now. Like somebody come on and say, Tom, it's Harper, dude. Look at his numbers. Even look at his numbers here. He's not the reason we haven't got to where we wanted to get to. Just like Trout isn't the reason Anaheim's not good. You know what I mean? It's like a different sport. So, Bryce Harper goes unnoticed here. And John Middleton's a lot of fault for this too.
Oh, and Gabe Kapler.
No, Gabe's not even Gabe's a crumb. See you later. He ain't even the main problem with all this. This was all Middleton, Quintac, and McPhail that ruined this whole thing. Because if you can't draft well and hit like they could have, then this is what you do.
True.
For the last 8 years. Shit. If 3 of them picks are stars in the first 3 years of you being horrendous, if you get 3 stars out of them drafts, you win.
True. That's true.
And a lot of guys I haven't seen yet.
Chrome says, I'm not a Phillies fan. I love Bryce like a son, but he's not even close to a top guy you start an organization with. If the entire league had to clean slate, tons of guys would go ahead of him. A quarterback and goaltender are your franchise cornerstones.
No shit, Chrome. Because it's a bigger sport, but it doesn't take away his impact. That's like asinine. So, like, you're telling me he doesn't go as a first round pick? You're telling me if Major League Baseball just said, hey, we're going to throw everybody out there. We're going to have fun this year. It's going to be fun. We're going to do a fantasy draft. You tell me he doesn't go in the first round? You're going to sit here and type it in that Bryce Harper ain't going in the first round. Because if you really think that, woo, I'm going to tell you something. Stop doing Ozzie Smith flips. All right? All right? Little Ozzie, stop doing All right? Calm down, Ozzie. We see you. Poe says, remember how poorly Dak looked with no Zeke, hurt line, and lesser receivers? Yeah. And remember when we all thought, Poe, that Carson's so much better. So much better. Yeah, dude. Playoffs, the NFL's that other sport, too, that you do need stuff. Like when Rodgers had a bad D, they weren't good. You remember? Like they weren't good when Aaron Rodgers had a bad D.
Everyone was saying Aaron Rodgers was done, me included. I thought Aaron Rodgers was done for like 3 straight years. And then he gets help and you see what happens.
Yep.
Help's
and
important.
his team still didn't draft another receiver for him. That's the funny thing.
No. And
Right now he's having one of the best years of his career.
Yep.
Wait, they didn't draft Alan Lazard?
I meant in the first round. Daly, work with me here. Daly, work with me.
Daniel says Bryce is absolutely a polarizing athlete. You either love him or you can't stand him. Dude has elite talent. You just don't think all of it has been let out. And Dan, to piggyback that is when is your prime years in baseball considered? You know, him and Trouty and Harper are coming into it, right? They're coming into their prime years where they're supposed to put up big numbers. Like this is a year that Bryce Harper is supposed to put up monster numbers.
Yep.
If he doesn't, I'll be all over him. You guys know this.
And he's in the perfect ballpark for it.
Perfect ballpark. It's the year he needs to put up big time numbers. And you're right about it. I don't think it's all been let out yet. And that also goes to, hey, can we get some things around them too? The same thing we talked about with Carson, you know, because baseball is a team effort like football is. You know, I need guys. So we'll start the call-ins whenever anybody's ready, man. I mean, we don't, Prez, you know us. You know, we're just sitting back and enjoying the conversation.
You know what's crazy too?
Yeah.
Like the easiest part of our list was like the top part of it. And we don't even know the orders for a lot of people. It got crazy like that. I can't even imagine when we get to like the back half and we start at like, because towards like the end, you have to start making cuts. Like there's a couple guys I actually had to leave out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where it's going to get real hectic in here because I know it's going to upset some people.
I know my list is probably going to upset some people.
And I'm sure my list will upset you for a reason. You'll find out.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
There's a reason. There's a reason.
Like I mean, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who's going to get mad over these, you know, because the order's a little different.
2020, Tom. Everyone's angry. It's 2020.
I mean, I have my top 5, and then I'll wait. We can all do top 5s, circle back, and then we'll do our 6 through 10.
Okay.
All right. So, you know, I know it. Listen, it's close, and I'm not going to shy away from my son, and that's Joel Embiid. I know I talked about Bryce Harper, and I made the case for him since nobody else was going to. Here, I thought Bry was going to. Really, I was shocked that he didn't. But I'm not. You got to rep your hockey, dude, and I love that you did. But to me, it's Embiid because that's a guy I believe in. I can get us on Broad Street, and again in the right situation too, right? I mean, it goes for every athlete. But I believe that he's going to continue to take his game to the next level. I got a lot of confidence in him this year too. So I'll go Embiid 1, Harper's 2. Okay, the track record makes him 2. It's not fair for me to put Ben Simmons over him. It's not fair to put Carter Hart over him, and it's not fair to put Carson over him. You know what I mean? Carson probably has the closest track record to put over him. You know what I mean? Really, out of all of them. So I'm going to go Bryce 2. It's going now. This could make people mad. I'm gonna go Ben 3. All right, I'm gonna go Ben 3. I'm gonna go Carson 4, and I'm going Carter Hart 5. And here they all come.
I can hear the keyboards.
And that is not a shot at Carter Hart, guys. I have a ton. Rob's in here. Brian's in here. We've talked a lot of times in studio when this kid finally came up, and I couldn't say enough great things about him. Right. So in no way, shape, or form is this a knock on Carter Hart. You know, this is just you're still younger than all these guys, and we need to see it for a little bit more. That's all. And that's all it is. And I believe in you.
No, I absolutely agree. Like I get it. I know where you're coming from. Just you know, I get it's a small sample size. I get it.
Can I respond to Chrome? Chrome, is it Wentz's fault or is it Howie and the organization's fault? Is it Bryce's fault or is it the organization's fault?
I would say Carson has the most wins out of all of them. I mean, because he's got the ring. So if you're going to bring that argument in, Chrome, and bring it in. Then bring it in, babe. Like you want to get now semantics with us? Then you got semantical, and now I don't even know if that's a word, but now it is. And what happened is I'll expose that word because at the end of the day, the other guy's got a fucking ring. Does Carter Hart have a ring? Did I miss it? Because I would love to be on Broad when they do. Or if it happened, I'd love a time machine to go back. So unless I miss Carter Hart getting a ring, don't you bring up playoffs to me because the other guy's got a goddamn ring. So if Carter Hart went to a Stanley Cup Finals and lost, then bringing that up to me. Okay, they were the number 1 seed last year, and they didn't get it done. And any way you want to shape or form. So if they were going to get it done, he would have given up. He would have if this is freaking Patrick Roy, right? At like 25, he would have given up no goals the whole series, right? So shut up, okay? Things happen, right? I got a lot of confidence in this kid, but also the team around him isn't finished. Right? The team around him is not finished.
I feel like you can make an argument for Bryce.
Yep. Oh, shit.
I mean, we're supposed to be what? 2020 spending stupid money? Where are we at?
Come on, you playoff round wins? What are you talking about? Carson, what? Listen. Crumb. We don't live in a goddamn city. John, shut up, Olympic gold. Now we're talking Olympic gold. Every player in the NBA's got a fucking Olympic gold. Are you kidding me?
What is he,
Are you
Herb Brooks
freaking,
now?
are you serious?
Freaking Herb Brooks.
Freaking Olympic gold.
Miracle on
Olympic
Ice.
Now you're crowning Olympic golds, which are great. But stop it. We should be the best. All right? What are you from Canada? Isn't Carter from Canada?
I think he is.
Yeah,
Right? Of course, then. Are you serious, John? It's like easy money. You're going to count that into the mix. Grow up, Peter Pan. You're better than that. You're better than that. All right? What's bigger? Well, I don't know. I mean, pretty close. Like Super Bowl champion, Olympic gold medalist. I mean, they hold a lot of weight depending on the sport.
Yeah, Sherwood Park, Canada is where he's from.
Wasn't he? I don't know. I mean, I feel like he maybe
technically he was.
John, every guy played good at lower levels, dude. That's why they're here. Come on. This is why I tell you to take notes sometimes.
John, I love you, but he gets bonus point for being the best junior.
This is unbelievable.
I think wasn't Tebow the best college quarterback ever? Did he get bonus points in the NFL? You Tebowing him right now? Yeah. Are you Tebowing him?
DB, they probably will dominate this list in the next 2 or 3 years. They're supposed to, right? Like a lot of young talent, a team that we have a lot of high hopes for. We're just not talking about this last year because they came up a little short. It was a young team for the most part too, and we expect to get some guys back that are important, right? Nolan Patrick being one of them, extremely important. So the Flyers are that second team that's the closest to get the Broad outside of the Sixers. So, I mean, it's exciting to have these two coming back. I know Poe said, what do you say, 35 last night. What, goals for TK? Is that what he's talking about?
We were talking about how many goals that he would have.
He said 35, like a 52 gamer or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
Or 56 games, okay.
56, yeah.
Phillies are going all in with Dave. Yeah. Philly sports content. Yeah, if anybody wants. So now tonight's Fan Friday, and then I know you guys got to give your list, your top 5. But tonight's Fan Friday. So what you do, inbox A2D on any of our social platforms. We'll give you the link, and you can jump in here and talk about anything you want to talk about. The hiring of Dave Dombrowski. We would love to talk some Phillies with you. You want to talk Sixers? We'll talk Sixers. Eagles, Flyers. I mean, we got everybody. We got our hockey guy in the house for you. We got a hockey guy in the house. We got another hockey guy right in the chat. You know what I mean? And we know Prism, the dirty dog, because he's all over Carter Hart. So we know where he stands hockey-wise.
Dan, no one's talking down Carter Hart. I promise you that.
Dan, I got a 5th. And my best athlete, we love him. Would you not do this? This is when we take things out of context.
Chrome, you were sent the link, Chrome. It's in the group. You were sent the link. You can't say that. There's 30 people got the link.
No, I don't want him coming in here with a button-down T-shirt.
Fresh haircut.
All right. Tristan, what finals? Eastern or NBA? That's the question, Tristan. I mean, Eastern, yes, I agree to that poll.
Yes.
NBA Finals,
Yes.
I can't yet. Nope. I can't. Prism, you're right. I mean, Konechny and Frost. I mean, we got puppies, dude. We got puppies. We are excited about. Chrome was in the talk group, Chrome.
You were in the group, therefore you got the link.
Talking about your dating life, and that thing must have just skipped right through you when you went 6 to midnight. All right? It must have just passed on by the big dog. You're always welcome. Shut the fuck up.
We got puppies, and you know what? And this is why Chuck Fletcher went out and didn't do anything, because he's got so many young guys in the pipeline that are getting ready. You got Cam York on defense, Frosty, Wade Allison, who's going to be a really good goal scorer in this league. You got Bobby Brink, who's going to be showing off his skills at the World Juniors this year. That's why there's nothing happening in free agency. Too many young puppies. Team's going to be good. You got a bright future ahead of them. Can't wait.
John, I'm not knocking his accomplishments. I'm sure he had fun as a kid, but does he have any accomplishments at the big level?
Hold on,
Come
John.
on,
John, the one guy had to fight tigers and lions when he was younger. Tell me about accomplishments. You know where the guy came from to play basketball and be an NBA player, and on a max deal and considered a top 15 guy in the league? You know where he came from? You know where he came from? You're gonna tell me about accomplishments because of low ice skating? Are you serious? No disrespect to hockey. I just had to throw that out there. Like accomplishments. Like guy freaking fought lions, tigers, and bears. You know what I mean? And who else knew? Who the hell knew? Diseases, right? I mean, guy fought off everything to get here. Everything in the world to get here. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? Accomplishments? Who's ever seen more to get here than Joel Embiid does? You guys are a bunch of jabrones if you're going to start talking about accomplishments at lower levels, and I'm going to start exposing you when one guy literally freaking combo punched a tiger one time. Like, freaking Floyd. Like freaking combo punched the Tigers, and we're going to talk about his accomplishments before he was a pro. Wow.
All Carter Hart had to do was get in a car and drive down from Canada. That's all he had to do.
I agree with Hills. When you go 2 for 500 on the power play, though, Flyers need scoring. I said it last night. That was one thing that I said on the show was the Flyers need a sniper. They need a pure goal scorer.
Crumb, the hardest thing to do in sports is hit a baseball, Crumb. So knock it off. Knock it off then.
Oh,
knock
he's
it off.
conditioned.
Knock
He's
it off.
conditioned.
Knock it off. It's a joke that you put that in there. All right? These all great athletes. Don't start overestimating a guy because they're conditioned. You know how hard it is to run up and down a court, too? You understand? You know how hard it is to hit a baseball? You know how hard it is to take a hit in football? Don't start telling me about which one's harder, all right? Because everything's got the hardness to it. But the facts of the matter, the hardest thing to do in all pro sports, and it's proven, is square up 99, baby. So you tell me, all right? Now you want to call yourself Mr. Baseball. You're like Baseball America, Baseball Almanac, and then you're going to try to put hockey over it? Grow up, all right? That's 2 grow up Peter Pans for you tonight, all right?
Nobody's twisting it. I wish we'd be able to twist it right the hell out of here. Nobody twisted it. Nobody's twisted.
Can we keep a counter on how many times Chrome's going to get called Peter Pan tonight?
70.
70?
That's the over.
That's the over-under, right?
I can see attacking diseases like their cat, like the cat fight and wrestling to the ground. Yeah. Joe, what do you say, Joe?
That was so funny.
All about Carol fucking Baskin, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And Dan even says it. Like we're all Carter Hart guys, but to leave the junior shit the hell out of it, please. And leave Canadian gold medals in hockey at home. All right. It's a great accomplishment. Gold medals are a great accomplishment. Nobody's knocking it. We're talking about the professional level. That's not the professional level. All right. It's fucking fantasy teams. All right. You're talking about some of the hockey countries that are great at hockey. Knock it off. All right. We all know where some of the greats come from. Then right up north. All right.
Daily. Some of these comments sound like me when I talk about the junior Goodwill games from Mighty Ducks 2. Woo, 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 Kenny, woo.
Which is really funny because I've been waiting to tell you this. I haven't seen you in about a week. The hockey store I work out now, dude, they're on constantly.
Mighty Ducks?
All 3 of them.
Hey.
Sometimes going 2 at a time on 2 separate TVs.
Let's answer this one real quick. Let's answer this one. Greg. Joseph says, what's worse, Eagles offense with Wentz or Philly's bullpen?
Oof.
Oh, man.
That's
Philly's bullpen.
Yeah, Philly's bullpen.
Yeah.
Because literally, like historically, it ended up being bottom 3 all time.
Yeah.
I think they were the bottom all time, weren't they? I think they had the worst bullpen ERA in Major League history. It
Oh,
was well over 7, wasn't it?
Looks like we have our first. Jake, do you have your 5 off the top of your head? You want to run off?
I can pull them up real quick. They're pretty straightforward. My top 5 right now. Number 1, Joel Embiid. Number 2, Bryce Harper. Number 3, Ben Simmons. Number 4, Carson Wentz. And number 5, Carter Hart.
Yep. Wash.
Brian.
All right. It's going to get froggy in here in a second.
Do you want me here? I'll go first then, because mine's easy before it gets froggy.
Yeah, spit him out, and we'll get Carson in here.
I've got Embiid 1, Simmons 2, Harper 3, Hart 4, Wentz 5.
That's not bad either.
All right, let's get froggy in here.
Okay.
So number 1, obviously, I got Carter Hart. Number 2, I got Bryce Harper. Number 3 is where I put Joel Embiid, but it was very tight. Number 4, Ivan Provorov. Number 5, Ben Simmons.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, those are going to get froggier than that.
Nah,
All right.
you got 2 hot guys in there. I expected it.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Well, I expected. All right, so our first Fan Friday guest jumping in, Carson. Carson, what's up, brother?
I'm in. You can hear me?
It's Marquise.
Yeah, I just had to troll. Everything is going crazy. I had 100 phones going off. How you guys doing, man?
Like Michael Vick. Why the fuck I got Michael Vick on? I got Michael Vick. Anybody ever tell you that? Anybody ever tell you that one?
Now, I always get Jason Derulo when you like see me.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I had to shave my beard. I shaved my beard so I can get rid of the comparisons. Like, it's crazy.
That's so funny.
But I'm in the studio now. What you guys up to, man?
Trying to figure out who the best athlete in Philly is.
I keep telling y'all who the best athlete in Philly is.
Who?
It's Carson Wentz. It's about Tom. Don't give me that look. Listen. We had the biggest drought. I'm talking about the Eagles. The biggest drought, period. He was the spark. I don't care if he won it. If Foles, I see what Foles did. Listen, he was mediocre every game until the Vikings game, and it took a pick to spark it. And then he did his thing in the Super Bowl. It was what it was. That Patriots defense was atrocious. Sitting Malcolm Butler, thank you. That was a layup. But at the end of the day, Carson Wentz gave me the most joy out of probably any athlete outside of Allen Iverson and Reggie White. And Carson Wentz is like top 5 probably ever because of what he did. Them moving up and drafting him was like, it's not going to be recognized for like the next 30 years. People will look back and say, they put a statue of another guy out there. That destroyed him. I don't care. Like, could you imagine somebody like your wife cheating on you and you take her back and then like 3 days later she cheat on you again? It's like, what the fuck? You drafted a quarterback after you just literally got the ghost that I was trying to get rid of away from me.
Mm-hmm.
You went and got another ghost to replace the ghost that you got rid of. It doesn't take a rocket science. You're a retard. Howie Roseman they should literally go find him tonight. Find him and get him ship him somewhere. Ship him to Phoenix or something. The Suns. Put him in a basketball GM seat or something. Because he has no business. Like, and another thing I wanted to share was like, how many times like you looked at coaches with like swagger, like a Greg Pop, a Bill Belichick. Does Doug ever give you that? Have you ever looked at Doug on the sideline and said, oh my God, that guy just gives me the vibe like he just knows everything. Like he knows what's going on. He's prepped. He's prepared for it. Or I think he gets a little too much credit. And I heard you say that before, Tom. And you said it you said it on a show and you said it kind of like you was kind of hiding it, but I think he gets a little too much credit. And it showed this year. Being stubborn, not running the ball.
Yep.
Not establishing a run.
And thinking he can be the play caller and the head coach when we know what his strengths are. His strengths are leading men. Go lead your men. All right? Go lead your men. You try to take on.
And I loved him for that.
I still think he can do that. I still think he can do that with the right offensive coordinator.
Yeah. I just think he needs an OC. He needs an OC.
I think our quarterback needs one too.
Yeah.
And he needs a young up and coming guy. He needs somebody who can relate to him. He can. He just needs something. It's like that. like I watched Carson at practice a couple times this weekend. He looks like refreshed already, right?
Mhm.
Like the mental looks just refreshed, like he's having fun,
Yeah.
and that's important for us to get him back to where we need him. But like I think if you bring a young guy in here, like an up and coming guy that can bring just a cleanse to
He
him.
needs a Josh McDaniels, which we'll never get that, but he needs a young type guy who understands how to deal with adversity and put you in the best position and give you confidence. These guys is not giving them confidence. They're fighting for their jobs. And they're making it clear they're fighting for their jobs. They're
Mhm.
Jalen Hurts.
Rome ain't happy with you.
Don't be happy. Listen, at the end of the day, listen. You can put Jalen Hurts out there a million times to throw a special throw that only Carson could throw. He might never throw it, ever. It takes a special arm. It takes an Aaron Rodgers. It takes a Pat Mahomes. It takes a Deshaun Watson. Hurts is not that. You look at the film. It shows you. He was in the second round for a reason. Somebody would have took him. He would have been gone. He would have been gone. This organization has to stop pointing the finger and duck in the mirror because it starts at the top. I don't get shitty food from restaurants and go looking for the cook. I go look for the guy who pays the cook and hired the cook. I don't look for the cook. I don't want to see the cook. There's 5 cooks back there. What you need to do is go remake the food and get the cook that cooks the best. Period. Or you go get in your cook's ass and make sure everything's right. But you're not going to sit up here and shit on a 27-year-old. 27-year-old we're talking about. This just shows we have an organization that's not used to winning. We're not used to winning because when you're used to winning, you have patience. The Patriots won, lost, and they were like, oh, damn, we lost. Okay, cool. Come back and win next year. Lost again? Okay, cool. We won once and came back and said, we're going to get everybody out of here. We want everybody going. We start blaming everybody. But they put the hot seat under the quarterback behind a shitty offensive line. Next gen stats showed us 50 sacks. He was only responsible for 10.
Tells you a lot.
Yep.
It tells you a lot what we already knew. It tells you a lot that our eyes didn't lie to us. It tells you a lot that if you, think any wide receiver in this league gets open in 2.6 seconds, that's hard to do. If you think that if you watch around any football around the league, put red zone on for 5 seconds, all right, and just see that every team driving down the field, their quarterback's getting protected, right? That's why they're driving, right? That's why they're driving down the field. Why do you think we put so much emphasis on this offensive line with Brandon Brooks, with Lane Johnson, with Jason Kelsey, with drafting Andre Dillard in the first round, right? With Isaac. Like coming into this year, we expected to have an extremely probably a top 5 to 10 offensive line in football. So that all came to us thinking Carson was going to have a great year. As soon as Brooks went down, the whole thing started going down with them. The ship sunk because, listen, at the end of the day, you got to protect the middle out. Yeah. I almost believe that great guards now in the National Football League are more important than great tackles. And that's probably a hot goddamn take, but I don't care because once I get beat in the middle, the fucking ends don't matter. The ends don't matter anymore. Yep. So if I can protect up the middle and let my quarterback, because all tackles got to do is be able to push a guy back and allow you to be able to step up in the pocket, right? So as long as I can play everything that my tackles break inside and make everybody push everybody outside, right? And my guards can hold up, then I'm going to guess what I'm going to have? I'm going to have 20-yard throws. I'm going to have 30-yard throws. I'm going to have 50-yard touchdowns. I'm going to get them things. But if you watch anything this year, Isaac's been out almost all year until recently. You've had no Brooks, right? So your middle's gotten smoked.
Literally.
And this is the reason why he stunk. It adds on to the reason. Because I think
you can say it's kind of the reason, man. Like we're going to be if we're going to be real, we're going to be real.
I got to be fair.
Hear me out. Listen, I'm tired of organizations saying we paid you $100 million. We expect you to do this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. You can say that. It's not realistic. It's not realistic. It's 53 guys on the roster. So,
like who says that to their quarterback? Who the fuck around National Football League says, yeah, you go do it all yourself? Are you kidding me? Like
that's what they expect though, because like Ryan said, Aaron Rodgers didn't get the backlash that Carson is getting. Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes, take away Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and let's just say Hilaire. Let's see how he looks out there. And one tackle, maybe. He's not going to be the same guy. And if you do think that, you need to wake up and smell the coffee. That's not how the NFL works.
Yep.
Remember, we ran just a plain West Coast offense. The difference between Doug and Andy Reid, the receivers weren't good, but they were there. They were available.
Yep.
You had chemistry with them. You had Todd Pinkston. You call him Stinks and all you want. He was there.
I'll take
So I
that.
don't know if that goes back to the medical and the training staff. Exactly. Greg Lewis, James Trash, you called him that. He was there. So Chad Lewis, he had a rapport with these guys.
Marquise, you're barking up the wrong tree with them names, right? Think about this even deeper. They had 2 Hall of Fame tackles too back in the day.
Right. But I'm gonna flip it though. Tom.
I got all the time in the world to throw the football, right?
Literally, Trey Thomas and Hank Fraley. Oh, come on. But flip the script. He had a top 3 defense every year.
Yep.
Every year. Meaning, I posted in A2D. I said 3 interceptions from this defense. 10 teams have 15. 8 have 8. 4 have 7.
Mhm.
We have 3 where listen, if you don't take away the ball, it's this thing that Jim Schwartz do. He has the defense out there for a long time. And when they kick a field goal to make it, oh yeah, good drive. You fella realize they just drove for 6 minutes of the quarter. The quarterback is on the sideline with his fucking arm frozen.
And you know what's crazy too? Because you look, Marquise, you're absolutely right. Because whenever we do get the ball, doesn't it seem like we always have to go 90 yards to get to the end zone? It's like we never have good
Literally.
85 at worst, at best.
Yeah.
Bend and keep bending. I see this John Hightower guy and this Jalen Reagor guy. I don't care if you don't like Jalen Reagor. You saw the tapes on him putting and returning. The same thing with Hightower. I'm going to throw Boston Scott out there. Boston Mahe.
Hold on.
Well, he can hold on to the ball. Listen, you're going to learn to hold on to the ball.
No, I'm not going to give you that one. Because week one, he fumbles his first one.
Yeah.
And let's just be real here. He dropped the one in return. So how much confidence you got him to catch it?
Guess what he just did, though? Guess what he just did, Tom? The ball he just returned for a touchdown, he fumbled. He did his best D-Jack impersonation. He fumbled the ball, picked it up, and ran it back. That just shows you his talent level. His ceiling is high.
He looks slow.
Higher than a Boston Scott. Do he need to tighten it up? Yes. But you have to give him the reps in the NFL. This is not.
Yeah, but you're also in
This is not college. You got a guy that can break the damn back, hitting you from the front in the NFL.
Marquise, you're also in a different spot, though. Like, he fumbles week one. You also lose, right? Like, and then he's hurt. But hold on. You got to make it. You got to have it fair for the coaches, too. Then he's hurt, and he's a rookie. And then they finally get him back out there again. I think it's fair because if we put him back there and he got hurt, right, again, like D-Jax did, we would be crushing Doug. So I don't think it's fully fair. I think you put him back there in spark situations because you're not.
All right, but Tom, to be fair, all right, I get what you're saying, and you're right.
To be a part of
you're right, but you mean to tell me like Greg Ward and Boston Scott is the only options we have on this team, athletic-wise?
No, we stay.
Greg Ward, he shouldn't be on this roster. If he's on this roster and the people of Philadelphia have expectations of the second round of the playoffs, that tells you nothing should be blamed on Carson because Greg Ward's out there.
Yep.
I would take the fourth receiver on most teams over Greg Ward.
Oh yeah, you take a fourth. Yeah.
Give me McCole Hardman. Give me DeMarcus Robinson. Give me those guys.
Arden might be one here.
Literally. Like, come on, man. But we keep blaming this kid. We keep blaming him. It's not fair. And everybody's trying to scapegoat him to save Doug because they think Doug is the guy that just saved this whole franchise. No, this was a group effort, the Super Bowl that we had. Everything came together perfectly that year. From the defense to the offense to the teams.
Real quick. So this is what's gonna happen here. All right, this is gonna get wound up in here. I can feel it. Rome, he's out of the look at Rome. Rome's out. It looks like he's out of the car. He brought the laptop inside. Looks like a different guy too, man. I don't even know if that's him now. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know if that's him. He had the whole. He brought the internet inside. Look at him. He brought the modem from the car into the house. I mean, look at this guy. I mean, guys moving modems. Listen, love Rome though, but it's gonna get hot because I'm on You know what side I'm on. You know I'm on your side with this, and you know I've been on your side. But I also
I'm just trying to stay facts.
I also got to be critical of him because he hasn't.
I am. He hasn't been good.
I'm fair both sides of it. I'm not fair on the side of running him out of town because I still believe in him. So no matter what I've said about him the last couple of weeks, how I would have put him down, I'm only putting him down for him because I'm tired of watching 3 points. Like,
save him from himself.
Breathe. Here comes the biggest Carson. I want to say hater because Chris Coleman's the worst in the HUD Real Talk group. He's the worst. Rome's not the worst. I love Rome, but he would take Foles back again. So we're going to see where this goes. See where this goes. Look at you.
Yo, that's crazy that you introduced me that way to the Eagles fans. I can't walk in Philly now. But nah, I'm honestly not a Carson hater, to be honest.
I know you're not.
I was this critical of all our quarterbacks. It just comes with the territory of having a lot of passion as an Eagles fan, and Brian Dawkins is to blame, to be honest. But to be honest with you, Carson, his frustrations with me sit within observation of his whole career, to be honest with you, and not his rookie year, you know what I'm saying? Because he was still great in his rookie year, you know what I'm saying?
Answer
I wouldn't say great.
This is the biggest question you need to answer right now.
Okay.
And it is, where do you rank Carson as the top Philly athlete right now? Where do you rank him?
I agree with Ryan. He got to be dead last. He got to be dead last right now because as much as you hate to say it, he and the funny thing is he could have easily flipped that.
Come on, guys, you heard me?
He could have easily flipped that himself with his play alone. But I don't want to hear all the excuses because we could go on for days about what Carson doesn't have, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? We could go on for days about that.
So
what we can't go on for days about is the film that shows plays left out on the field and if he was to execute on 60% of his bad mistakes, that would result in at least 2 to 3 more games on the win column this year.
Yeah,
that right there alone we wouldn't even be talking about Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, would you keep walking in the same bar? Yeah, would you keep walking in the same bar if you kept getting punched in the nose every Sunday? That was it.
Thank you, Tom.
Like if you walk in the bar,
but Keyshawn Johnson,
and nobody got you back in the bar.
Keyshawn Johnson
I don't give a shit what
great
Keyshawn
point.
said. I don't give a shit what Keyshawn said. I don't give a shit. He ain't
but
locked in like we are. He has no right talking about what we see every goddamn Sunday. These outsiders have no right talking about what we watch every Sunday. They're fucking highlight watchers, and they listen to what somebody else says, and then they gather an opinion off of that.
They're the most biased because they played the game.
I don't give a shit. Listen. I caught fucking plays from Joe Flacco. Should I start running around telling everybody I played the game and I caught enough? I didn't catch enough. He just thrown the ball to me more, honestly. But that's story for another day. We can't use that excuse because he played the game. We all know enough about football, and you do too, to never say, hey, because the guy played at a high level, he knows more than somebody who didn't, because that's horse shit. Some of these guys are just great athletes. They don't know shit about shit. You know what I mean? Some are, and some really do know the game, right? I see plenty of analysts out there, former players, that know the game great, and I know other ones that have no fucking feel for life. All right,
can I say this, Tom, to him? Listen, the same way you observated that about Carson, about how he misses throws and this, that, and the third. I mean, we know the team bad. You don't want to make excuses. You're saying he should hit those. I played quarterback. When you get your bell rung 3 times, you don't give a damn about if a guy is open or whatever the case is. You're running for your life pretty much. But I'll say this. We need to observe the players.
Depending on what type of quarterback.
Listen, hear me out.
Hold on. The dude's been hit more than anybody in the league.
Literally, yeah. That's not even.
Come on, bro.
Listen, bro. I'm
real quick. Marquise, can I mic drop this? I got to mic drop this, and you guys can go on because you guys. I'm going to mic drop this right now. I'm going to mic drop this for the whole fucking country. Put this shit on tape. All right. Every quarterback in the National Football League that's gotten their ass kicked has bad games. Every quarterback in the National Football League, the 101 conversation is if you get pressure, you beat them. Some of the greatest. Brady, you get pressure on him, you beat him. Peyton Manning, you get pressure on him, you beat him.
Aaron Rodgers.
I continue to list them. Every quarterback in the National Football League, even Russell Wilson, who's electric all over the place. If
The
you don't
Giants.
get pressure on him and beat him up, you beat him. This is how the league works. So the other teams got pressure on our quarterback. Every goddamn week he's gotten beat up. So how do you expect him to then not get worse as the season goes on? You lose it. You lose it, and you need the mental break because you got your ass kicked. And listen, does he need to play better at times? Has he missed opportunity? Yeah, but what happens is when you're getting your bell rung, you can start looking at one read. You start not seeing the whole field. You start looking at what's in front of you and what's not down the field. Is that his fault? Sure, we'll say a little bit of it's his, but listen, until motherfuckers taking.
What was the start of everything? I'm gonna go. Let's just go downstairs because I gotta be quiet in here. But what was the start of Carson's drop? That interception against Washington, and there was no pressure on that play. That was the start of everything. That was the start of.
Come on, you got a rookie wide receiver not come back for the football. We stop.
But
the rookie wide receiver didn't come back for the football.
1 second. That was the start of everything. But what you're saying is Carson isn't like you're saying it can't all be on his shoulders when these mistakes are happening when the play isn't even the offensive line isn't even that bad. There's plays on the field where
you hear the next stats we just said? 50 sacks. 10 are his fault. 40 are the offensive lineman's fault. So the same way you single out Carson Wentz, you have to single out the lineman. Period. You got to single out everybody. It's not one guy. It's a domino effect. The NFL don't work like that.
I understand that, right? As a quarterback, though, you don't. When's the last time we seen Carson bring protection to a weak side or try to shift? You know what I'm saying? We really don't see that. When we hear Carson talking on the field, it's to kill plays and call another play.
I saw you blocking last Sunday. I mean,
literally.
Come on.
I'll say this. It's when you get into a situation when the line is so depleted, like our line is, his confidence is shot already. He's going into every game knowing I'm going to die.
I don't want to hear that from him.
You don't want to hear it because you're a fan. But get behind the line of scrimmage and get behind those hurt bums that's in front of you. You can't make plays with receivers that don't get separation. You don't do it. So what we do is we go look at the tape and say, this guy was open, Carson missed him. Yeah, his bell was a 0.3 seconds away from getting rung. It's not going to happen. Listen, your coach has to develop. He has to run the ball. Running the ball opens up the pass. Miles Sanders, you told me in the offseason, was going to be the bell cow. Do you know what a bell cow is? A bell cow is who? Adrian Peterson in his prime. Ezekiel Elliott 2 years ago. Todd Gurley in his prime.
Well,
bell cow. Our bell cow had 16 carries in 2 games.
We let go of our bell cow.
No, your coach said this guy was the bell cow. And he didn't go get Le'Veon Bell, Carlos Hyde, Devontae Freeman. He didn't get none of them. He said, this guy's the bell cow. The guy that can't catch the ball out of the backfield. The guy that fumbled on the goal line against the Browns, we might have won that game. But we don't talk about that. We talk about Carson's mistakes. We don't talk about
his mistakes are more. His mistakes are more critical to the wins and losses, and that's point blank. Period. Who's the reason? Who's the reason we lost to the no names?
How many times have our defense put us in a scoring situation?
Who's the reason we lost to the no names? Who's the reason we lost to the
Cincinnati Who's the reason Bengals? We lost to the no names? You talking about the no names that we was up 17 and nothing at halftime and we only ran the ball 4 times the second half? Them no names?
Yeah. But
okay, yeah. You mean to tell me you don't want to try to run the clock out? Don't try to establish the run to even get another field goal or 4 times in the second half. You have a coach who thinks he's Andy Reid and he's not. He's not a piece of Andy Reid. He doesn't have the playbook. He doesn't have the mental. He doesn't have it. He's not Andy Reid. He wants to be Andy Reid. That's why he went and drafted the speed.
I just want to get
That's why we have Miles. That's why we have bro.
Carson Wentz. And
it's gonna always be Carson Wentz.
This is gonna piss a lot of people off. Carson Wentz
And go past that.
does not. Yeah, I already know that. I love it too. He doesn't make up for the mistakes. You know what I'm saying? We could blame whoever we want.
Hold on.
But if Carson is gonna look this bad with the mistakes,
No. Did he just make up for mistakes last year? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
To be fair, Carson was better last year than he is.
So don't say he never makes up for having less around him, because he just did. The only quarterback in NFL history to put up the yards he did with what was around him. Like that's
Tom, did you know this, Tom? Did you know this? Hold on. Dak plays 69 games. He has a Pro Bowl running back and he has a Pro Bowl wide receiver. He plays 69 games. He has 106 passing touchdowns. Carson plays 67. He has 113 passing touchdowns with no Pro Bowl wide receiver ever. Not a 1,000-yard receiver or Pro Bowl running back.
Mm-hmm.
It's just him out there he was making plays and y'all was cheering for him. And when the deck fell, everybody left. Because, like I said, Philadelphians aren't used to winning in the football league or the basketball. We're going to get on that, but
We ain't used to winning, period.
baseball, football. We haven't won anything. Now that we have one, we've become selfish. We're sacrificing everybody and our own integrity. Alshon this, Jason Peters that. These is guys that brought us what we got. We should glorify them. You could be mad at what we paid them, what happened, how it went down. At the end of the day, they brought us something that the Browns, the Dolphins, and all these other franchises that have no rings,
Nick
the Chargers,
Foles did
they
that.
will kill
Not number
for it.
11, number 9.
he didn't do
Not
that.
number 11.
So, guys,
Let
let me ask you this. So, if Nick Foles would have started that 2017 season, we would have won the Super Bowl?
Who's to say?
You out of your mind. You saw the resume.
Okay.
That bum wasn't doing nothing. Come on, man.
I could ask you the same question. If Carson doesn't get hurt, do we win that same Super Bowl?
Literally,
Yes.
The whole league was scared of Carson Wentz. The whole entire league was on notice. You saw them games. We was going in -7.5, -8.5 favorites over teams. Literally in the AFC.
Mahomes before Mahomes.
Literally was Mahomes.
And
before Mahomes.
honestly, people and my brother hates me because I'm this much of a critic, but I was all happy with that. But I was like, okay, let's see if he could do this in the playoffs. And I told you this, Tom, on a few call-ins ago. I was happy with that, bro. Trust me. I love what Carson did. I love when he's good. But
you love when he's good. Nobody loves when somebody's bad, though. You can't stick by a guy. It's like marriage.
But that's the times I analyze.
You're married to him. You know that, right? We're married to him. He has over 100 million.
I analyze when
he's here.
Slow. I analyze when things aren't looking so upright.
And you have a kid with this guy, bro. You got a kid. You can't just leave your wife and the kids alone. Don't be a deadbeat, bro. He's with us. This coach scapegoated him. He tried to play the victim. Oh, yeah, Carson's my guy. He can't interview to save his life. Every interview sounded like he was just hanging on by. He's fighting for his job. He knows how it's garbage. You drafted a quarterback after you signed him. Listen, when you give a quarterback $100+ million, your job as a GM and a coach is to draft nearly perfectly. You have to be almost mistake-free. And you go out and you draft Jalen Reagor in the first, who could have went to the mid-second, and Jalen Hurts in the second?
They didn't
kid me. Stop. Go jump off of a bridge.
The media painted a narrative last year on that stretch that Carson was playing at a level more than he was at. The media painted that narrative.
What is the longevity in that, though? What is the longevity in that, though, bro?
But
Matt Ryan has Julio.
Listen to what I'm saying. The media is creating a narrative that most mainstreamers are going to take and run with. So, in that sense, that didn't leave Carson anything to fall back on in the offseason. Things that I was looking at, things that are being exposed now in his play, things that have been flaws. Hold up. In his game previous to 2018, those are the things I was looking for Carson to capitalize. And those are mostly fundamental things that he has lost his way with. I'm not saying he's done with it.
But
I'm saying
listen,
he's lost his way.
you have to have the adequate talent in this league to balance everything out. You can't send a guy out there on a dummy mission every week, even if he elevates you for 4
But you
games
can't
like he did
abandon
last
your
year.
fundamentals
He
at the same
elevated them.
time.
Listen, it has no longevity. You can't take a
cannot
knife to a
abandon your
gunfight and expect
fundamentals
to
at the same
stab 10
time.
people. It's not going to work like that, bro.
And
Boston
Carson's
Scott is Boston Scott. Greg Ward is Greg Ward. As we see, Travis Fulgham is Travis Fulgham. They're not D-Hop. They're not Julio. They're not these guys that y'all want them to be. They're 6th-round picks for a reason. He got cut by the Lions and the Eagles 6 times. Do you not understand? Travis Fulgham is Travis Fulgham. He'll never see a $100 million contract. He'll never see the money that Julio sees. He's not that guy.
Facts.
Elite wide receivers make plays for their quarterback, which means even if the quarterback is off sometimes, you'll see an Odell Beckham go and make that catch. Oh, my God. You get paid to do that. We got to stop putting on one guy.
Of course. A generational talent.
It's not a generational talent because D-Hop does it. Michael Thomas is going to do it to us all Sunday.
Yeah.
Fullback playing quarterback.
Real quick. How long have Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers been together? 7 years?
Since Jordan Matthews, because we took J-Matt a couple picks before they took Devontae.
Right.
7, 8 years? Okay. Just real quick. They've talked about how much time they spent.
They have a rapport. Yeah.
In the 7 years getting it right together, right? So he's had his guy. He's got his guy where they were able to grow together. When the fuck is this organization in X amount of years, besides going out in a free agency and getting Alshon, which was a great move, don't get me wrong. That was the only time they said, all right, we're going to go put a number 1 around him, right? The only time, Rome, he lit the fucking league on fire. So I don't want to hear anything anymore. I don't want to hear crap. The second you put a stud around him and he's unsuccessful, it's the second I'll run him right out of the city myself. Right out of I promise this fan base, I will personally drive his ass and put the dogs in the back seat. We'll buckle the dogs up and everybody's getting driven the hell out of this city.
I'll pay for the gas, Tom.
You just referred to the pre-injury Carson Wentz. With the 2017 version of
this ain't Derrick Rose, dude. This ain't Derrick Rose. It's one injury to the team.
Two different sports. Two different sports. There's two different sports. It's
all
not
I'm
going to
saying
listen.
is Carson Wentz's fundamentals have regressed shockingly to me in my eyes.
His fundamentals.
Everything regresses when you get smacked all around. You understand? You throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball in my head, game in, game out. Guess what I'm going to start doing? Listen to me, bro. I'm going to start stepping out of the plate. I'm going to start leaking with my front shoulder, okay? Because I'm getting nervous that you're going to punch me in the head again. It's human nature. I'm not saying it's right, but when you get hit at a record level pace, it becomes that. It becomes that for every quarterback to ever play in the National Football League. It's that simple. So who's winning?
I'll just say this, though.
Because I don't want to do the Carson.
Just to prove the point, kind of like, I don't want to
bash Carson.
I never heard you mention, bro, anybody since you got on this live outside of Carson Wentz. We're talking about an entire organization from top to bottom. And I blame Carson. And if that's what you think is going to fix this, like, bro, it's not, man. You need a wake-up call. Carson is not going to be able to fix it. He's one guy.
I respect you, bro. I respect that because I really have been, and I just thought of it like, damn. But there's more people to blame, of course. And
listen, I do this for a living, bro.
To be honest with you, bro, this is how I feel. I'm not giving up on Carson. I feel the way I feel. Carson versus Nick Foles, that's my thing personally. You know what I'm saying? If I'll debate that whoever's smoking a blunt with me. You know what I'm saying? Face to face. But I'm gonna lay that to rest. I'm gonna lay that to rest. What I'm gonna say is I'm gonna stick with Carson because I really do. I strongly believe in the guy. You know what I'm saying? I really, really do because I just don't believe. You know what I'm saying? Like I give him the benefit of the doubt because I feel he has the Warriors mentality somewhere in there. You know what I'm saying? That's probably why he's so ego driven. You know what I'm saying? On the low, but with the whole thing, the whole grand scheme of things, it's Howie. You know what I'm saying? You have to. I wouldn't have drafted Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm saying? I was like shocked, just like you guys. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's really going on?
Your energy should be.
I wouldn't have
directed to.
I wouldn't have paid Carson that money yet. Not because I don't believe in him, just because I wanted him to show me more. Just show me that you could play a playoff game.
Crazy. I'm giving him that money. It's a layup.
Okay. And then Jason Peters,
It's a
he would have
layup.
been gone 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to build up
Can't stay
that.
2 years ago because it wasn't about his on-field play 2 years ago. It was about what he was bringing to the rookies and the young guys on the line. It was about his mentor. It was about him, not the left tackle JP. It was about the veteran. So you can't get rid of JP. That last year maybe.
I would have made the
year
Andre
before last.
Dillard
Hell
move.
no.
I would have made the Andre Dillard move the year before. If you want to say, okay, let's keep him for that purpose, I still would have made the move for the year before, because let's be honest, was Jason Peters the most healthy guy for us? We couldn't really rely on him when
Who drafted Dillard?
Huh?
Who drafted Dillard?
We did. What are you talking about?
Who's the GM?
Howie.
Oh, all right. So he drafted Dillard, the guy that was crying in practice, and JJ, the guy that had the umbrella in his mouth. So he gets a lot of soft guys or whatever the case is, but keep going.
No, I'm saying I would have made the position draft. I'm not saying Andre Dillard specifically. You feel me?
But if you have the same guy drafting with the same history, you want to get the same outcome.
That's why I'm blaming Howie.
But you talk. You're right. Yeah. I get all right.
All right, let's go to the nuts and bolts, and let's talk about Sunday.
He heard me talk about Carson. He heard me fire Carson up. Now he thinks I'm all against the Eagles and shit. Damn.
Young Money, we appreciate you, brother. He says all the damn players have regressed. Name one player who is playing at the same level they did last season or better. Nobody. Yeah.
Dallas Goedert.
Yeah. It's not been available enough.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Brandon Graham's the only one.
Yeah, literally. Graham, I forgot. I'm sorry.
He's been on a card the last few weeks, so.
Come on, Tom. Tom don't let nobody live.
3 turnovers. A defense that has 3 fucking turnovers. All right. None of these guys deserve to be on no damn list. All right. Our players got better. We got 3 turnovers on our defense. Are we okay? There ain't a guy on this defense that gets the game ball, that gets a praise, that gets a smack on the behind and says, keep up the great work. None of them.
That's your DT though, Tom. The guy who thinks we paid the front 4, so we're not going to blitz. He's just weird. He's the total opposite of Jim Johnson. I can't stand him. I can't bend and keep bending. It's like sticks all the way down. Just waste the whole quarter. 8-minute drives from the offense. And you just look like, damn. Carson looks beat. Doug is beat. Everybody's just beat. I'm home eating Doritos, throwing my phone at the couch. Here's the kicker. He don't wait to give you the gut rich. This is when Jim Schwartz gets you 3rd and 22. He was like, we're finally get off the field.
Yeah,
and 3rd and 30, 23 completion. Like, what the how?
Exactly.
And
Because
then
you
they
got
keep
your
driving, and they
DBs
keep
lining up
stabbing
15
you,
yards
and then they
off
start
the
turning
goddamn
a knife
receiver.
in you just to get a field goal so everybody in Philly can say, he's a good defensive coordinator.
So real quick, because I got to go piss. But I want to ask you everybody a question. All right. Some people probably already heard me say it. I'll say it one more time. The Eagles win Sunday, and not because of the reasons everybody thinks. Okay? Not because they're good enough. Not because they're good. Blah, 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 blah. They stink. All right? They're going to win because of what we just sat here and talked about for X amount of minutes. Because they'll do it. They'll win somehow to make this more of a conversation. Because that's what they're great at. They're great at train wrecks. They're phenomenal at train wrecks right now. Right now in 2020, nobody's better in train wrecks than the Philadelphia Eagles. From pressers, the quarterback bullshit controversies, the drafting quarterbacks in the second round, the missing on first-round picks, it looks like, the everything. There's not been a bigger train wreck outside of maybe John Middleton's statements in 2020 in Philly sports, right? There just hasn't been. And here come the Eagles. Here come the Eagles. And when everybody, this kid's going to go out, he's going to run around, and he'll make a couple plays for 1 week, right? And it's going to be all cute, and then it's going to start. It's going to start. And guess what this defense is going to do on Sunday, too? They're going to take the ball away a couple times because it's just ebb and flow. They're due like 3 of them, and who better than a guy who fumbles the shit ton and Taysom Hill? He hasn't beat nobody, so I don't want to give a fuck. He hasn't beat nobody. He beat Denver without a quarterback. And stop with the Falcons. Like I don't care about the Falcons. He played both games in the Dome against Atlanta and at home. I'm not scared of Taysom Hill. And I got a feeling that our defense is going to take the football away. We're going to be put in good situations for our offense, which we haven't been put in all fucking year. If anybody's watched any of the games. Now, one time has our defense been like, oh, yeah, we got the ball on the other team's 20. Great pick, right? Never happens. Guess what's going to happen Sunday? That's going to happen, which is going to make the quarterback look better, which is going to make the offense look better. And guess what else is going to happen? This freaking head coach who, for whatever reason, if it's him, if it's Carson change the plays of the line, they're going to run the freaking football. And the RPOs and all that shit are going to screw the Saints up a little bit or enough to get 24 points or 28 points, right around there. And you're going to get a turnover that's going to give you points, right? Maybe even 2 of them. I got that weird feeling, not in a good way, because at this point, I want a top 5 pick. So if it is Jamar Chase, if it is Devontae, what's the kid from Bama? Devontae Smith. If it is whoever it is, I don't know right now, but whoever it is, I want a top 5 pick for that, and they're going to fuck it up. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I want your thoughts on that because I'm really conspiracy. That's conspiracy time. Hey, conspiracy time's here. You know what I mean? Watching the fucking History Channel like that wasn't real. You know what I mean? And ain't nobody got time for that. And this is where I'm at. And it hurts. It hurts. It's the first time I picked them to win where it hurts, hence Jalen Hurts. I didn't even mean to do that. But, it really does hurt. And I want the kid to be successful, right? Because I don't want anybody that we draft to stink, but I'm also not rooting for a win. I just got this weird shit going on in my head. And I know I have for the last 2 weeks. I've been waiting for this team to break out offensively, right? Like we all have. Like this is the week Carson figures it out. Here's the week. Or this offense figures it out. Whatever. We haven't been. So what better way to try to score points than a guy who hasn't been hit, who's going to run around right now? Because they'll run around, break down defenses. This is a proven fact. And they'll score some points. And here we go. So tell me what you guys think about it.
The question is, how good is the defense going to be? Because the Saints could do the same thing.
They can, but ebb and flow of a league, they're due to give up some points.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't the 85 Bears, I'll tell everybody that, especially not on turf. Ain't as fast when you ain't on turf.
Right.
It's cold in Philly. It's going to be cold, too. It's going to be cold. I was expecting Drew Brees to be here. I thought this was going to be I think we lost to them 8 straight times or some weird shit.
Something crazy, yeah.
Here we
So
go.
I was expecting Drew Brees to be here, old and in the cold. Hopefully it sleeps or something crazy. And
Grab the gadget receiver at 12. I can already feel it.
But yeah, it didn't work out like that. So I mean, I got us losing, and I don't think Jalen Hurts is gonna be the person that makes Doug want to run the ball more. He's gonna do design runs, and I don't think they're gonna work. I think it's gonna be the freelancing runs that's gonna work, like him under pressure getting out and running. That's gonna work, and on tape it's gonna look bad to us. We're gonna look at it like that wasn't designed, so you don't get credit, Doug. And what's gonna happen is I think finally the cuffs come off of Carson, hopefully. But if I was to say we have a good game, that defense is good. I mean, he would have to literally commit to the run. I'm talking about the first. We haven't ran the ball the first play of the game in 4 weeks.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So out of 13 weeks, I think we only ran the ball on the first play twice. So he's not trying to establish it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say he's trying to be Andy Reid. Andy Reid comes out with gimmick plays and end arounds, but he has the talent around him to do that. So, I mean, I wish Hurts the best. I'm a Carson guy, but I'm not gonna sit here at the end of the day. I'm a Bird guy. I'm an Eagles fan. I've always been an Eagle my whole life. So hopefully it works out, but I just don't see us getting past that defense, man. I just don't see it. I'm gonna say. Record gets another touchdown on a something, and we lose. We cover the spread. We lose by 4.
Okay. Yeah, to me, it doesn't matter. I don't want to say it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, but like we talked about, when you've got as bad of an offensive line as we have, wide receivers that can't get open, won't get open in any realm of the possibility. You have so much inconsistency on just one side of the ball, and then you look at their defense. They're the number 1 defense in football. They're causing turnovers all over the place. You look at it to where it's okay, their defensive line against our offensive line. I don't care if it's Hurts or freaking Sudfeld or freaking – it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't. I understand we're probably going to see a more, movement-driven offense. I understand that. But to me, when you can't protect the quarterback and the offensive line is literally the exact same as it's been, minus Jason Peters, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Jason Peters is great, but we're actually down a guy compared to the last couple weeks. To me, Hurt's going to have a couple plays. I'm sure there's going to be excitement. You could end it. Listen, we might be up 7-0 to start the game. I could honestly see that to where here we go with the lightning bolt in the city.
I can see that, Ryan.
But to me, I'm going 27-16, late touchdown by the Eagles to even make it somewhat close.
Damn, that's a blowout.
Yeah, no, I don't care if it's cold. It's just, if we were playing any other team, and I'm not trying to crown the Saints because they've got Taysom Hill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a Taysom Hill guy, but it would just be the epitome of this Eagles season to where they come in our house and their gadget lights us up. You know what I'm saying? And also, I don't even think it's going to be about him. I think what's the biggest thing with our defense besides the secondary position being awful, especially the number 2 secondary? We can't defend the run. Alvin Kamara is a top 3 running back, maybe the best running back in the league right now.
Dalvin Cook is.
And he's a dual threat.
Yeah, I agree with that, especially because he's on my fantasy to where he makes me happy a lot. But
Mine too.
But honestly, yeah, it's great. I mean, I love it. But I really look at it to where, when he scores in bunches. And I can just see it right there.
Yeah.
Taysom Hill might only have to throw like 5 times because they can't. Who's their backup? Isn't it like Latavius Murray?
Yeah.
Yeah. No one.
He might have 2 He might have 2 freaking touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't defend.
He's the touchdown guy. Actually, he's the third down back. He's the one who delivers the touchdowns.
That's my player of the game. I'm calling it. Latavius Murray. He's my player of the game.
And that weather, I wouldn't go against that. In that weather, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the worst part about Kamara is he's a dual threat.
Yeah.
Yep. And we can't defend it either way.
Nope.
A lot of teams can't defend them.
Well, we don't have the linebackers to defend it, so
Yeah.
you gotta have a safety. I think I wouldn't leave Slay one-on-one with Michael Thomas. I don't think it's gonna work. So you would have to sacrifice McLeod out in the box to be around Kamara, and I just don't think you can even play around like that. Like Michael Thomas is just all he needs is 2 inches, like literally.
I think
So,
Marquise, I'm with you, man. I think in order for the Eagles to even come close to winning this game, is they need to find some kind of balance in the offense. Because it's like you said, bro. A good, effective running game opens up the passing game, and the Eagles don't do it. They're passing 50, 55 times a game. Defenses know what they're going to do.
yeah.
They know what they're going to do. And then on the defensive side, it's like you were saying, it's supposed to be that bend but don't break, but it's the bend
and keep bending.
Bend, still bending. They
Field goal.
no 3 and outs. Rarely 3 and outs. The defense can't get off the field. It's.
But like I said to you guys, the same way Carson is on the sideline with the coat on, looking at a team drive for 8 minutes, that's because they're balancing the offense. So if we do that, we keep Taysom on the sideline. And another thing is, you have to blitz him. He's going to get his yards running. He's going to get them. We have no linebackers. You have to go into the game aggressive. You have to go into – I'm talking about put Kavon Wallace down low and then show blitz and then have him back.
Please. Yes, I agree.
Go 3 times in the play, like, oh, he's not coming. He's going to go into coverage. And then send him the 4th time. Send him the 3rd time. Send 2 guys. Close the gap because he's not accurate. So if you can get guys in his face, you're going to force turnovers. But if you're scared to blitz, like I've seen Jim Johnson engage 8 on a goal line, and I'll be like, this guy's a genius. Nobody would never do no shit like that.
See, and that's,
but that was like, rest in peace to Jim Johnson. That was just him. Like, we're on a goal line. I'm going to sit in the house.
And I think that's why I don't like Jim Schwartz as much as anybody else does, is because, I grew up watching Jim Johnson. That defense, that aggressive, that we're coming after the quarterback type of. And now you got guys lining up 10 to 12 yards off wide receivers and giving them all day to catch the ball. Like,
I can't stand it. Oh my god, the pay Darius all of that money.
2 years ago.
Our defense is coming on stronger than I'll put it like this. I thought with the way things were going, our defense would implode. You know what I'm saying? But to be honest with you, our secondary has been kind of a pain in our ass as of late, more than anything on the defense. I mean, our front four is the best part of our defense.
which is sad.
But that's what, but coming on
Sadly,
late,
yeah.
like as of late, they've been stepping up stronger. You know what I'm saying? They've been the
But that's
turning point
scheme
in the
though.
defense.
That's all scheme because
But what I'm
the
trying to
DBs are going to look bad when you don't have exerted pressure, when you don't send linebackers. If you
Bro,
send
They're
that,
not
I
playing in
understand.
press coverage.
exactly, they're just out there on islands. The hardest position in football to play, believe it or not, is a DB. It's harder than
Bro,
being a quarterback.
Mhm.
You're on an
played these-
island one on
that's-
one with a guy. You have no help, and it's just like this is the
Bro.
most talented guy ever. Imagine sticking Julio Jones for 60 minutes. Like,
Where's K Metcalf right now?
Bro, I understand football. I understand that the corner. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't my point. My point is Taysom Hill isn't your drop back. He you know what I'm saying? He doesn't with that dig route that Drew Brees and Michael Thomas are famous for, and click like that. That they don't have that to their expense this game. You know what I'm saying? They don't have
the chemistry, that
dynamic.
rapport, they don't have that with each other. I get what
Right.
you're saying.
But
What I'm saying is,
so-
we know that because you said it. You know it. I know it. So Jim Schwartz knows it.
But
Which
hold up.
means
But let me make my point. First, because that you're shaking, you're doing all this, but those are the routes that killed us in 2018 when we lost to them. Those you know what I'm saying? Those are the routes. Drew just you know what I'm saying? Because he knew he was gonna be there. That's what I'm saying. Those intricacies of the game are what you know what I'm saying, put daggers in our ass in 2018. So you could do all that. You know what I'm saying? I know for a fact they're not gonna have that to their expense this game. You know what I'm saying? So if our dogs to be
Foles
dogs,
threw 2 interceptions. We're not gonna leave that out.
I mean, Michael Thomas and Taysom Hill have been playing long enough now that I see that it's gonna be a problem. They've been playing a couple weeks together. They got a rapport.
I don't think
They'll do some damage.
but this is my prediction. Let me just make my bold prediction. I don't think that we have to worry about that this much. You know what I'm saying? I think that we're gonna smother the run game and we're gonna make them helter-skelter. You know what I'm saying? And that is because the play of Jalen Hurts is gonna spark the whole team again.
But once again, do you think Doug is going to just commit to a balanced offense? Because we're like bottom 5 and 3 and outs. Like
I hope so. And
we love going out
we're
there.
number one.
The only reason I'm gonna lean towards a yes is because he did so whenever Carson wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I wish he kept the same energy.
I'm joking. I'm playing, bro.
But I'm just saying he played his cards more accordingly to the quarterback schemes when Carson wasn't in there, and it just seems when Carson's in there, like he doesn't play to his trust me. I'm on the same take as you. As why is Doug doing all these things? But then
you want me to tell you why? I'm gonna tell you this because
Carson is the guy who says set Hut. He's the guy who, you know what I'm saying?
No. Hear me out. I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you're in a position, sometimes you have mediocre guys and you have elite guys like a Carson. You tend to overthink and want to do more. Like me, I had a Ford Focus. I drive a Mercedes now. So sometimes I just be on the highway bored. I just push it to the limit just because I know this car can work. Like I just know it just does more. So when you bottle your mind up into having a guy that can put certain balls certain places, but you don't have the talent around him to execute it, you box yourself in. And then you tend to keep overdoing it instead of stepping back and saying, when Nick came in, well, Nick doesn't have Carson's arm. So what I'm going to do is dial back and throw more screens to open up the passing game. I'm going to run the ball to free up the crossing routes, which you know what beats his own? Out routes. Everybody knows that. So now when you run the ball, they tend to zone more. When they zone, you move a guy in motion, make him do an out route, and you put the ball there. With Carson, they zone all game because they know when they zone blitz him, he gets confused because they know we want to do the big play all game. Every play is the big play. That's not how the NFL works. Andy Reid lures defenses to sleep with run. He'll do like reverses, run. As long as he keep getting first downs, you just know Tyreek is about to get a
everything you're saying right now is
bomb out of
irrelevant
nowhere.
if the quarterback doesn't want to play a long to the playbook. All these
So
allegations
the
saying
quarterback is calling plays now. Jesus Christ. This is
what I'm
set up.
saying,
It's a game of setup, bro. You have to set it up, bro. You
Are
have
we
to
to
set
ignore the
everything up.
allegations out there saying that Carson's calling plays and changing shit?
Not
What I'm
calling
saying,
plays.
what I'm saying is, put all the. Why we keep making excuses? You know what I'm saying? If I was on the football field, I'll say. Let me just say this for 20 seconds. I'm gonna go downstairs and smoke. You got to put everything to rest. You know what I'm saying? All that matters is when you guys are in the huddle for that play and you say set Hart. So if you can't execute right there, starting with your quarterback, nothing else matters. And the quarterback this season simply isn't executing. And I'll go to crucial moments in the games where he isn't executing. And yes, you can fault other people.
But you do know when he goes into huddles with plays. You do know when he goes into huddles with plays. 9 times out of 10, you have 4, and 3 are passing plays, and 1 is a run audible. So when y'all say that he's audible into a run play, he's not always audible into a run play. He's not at this point of his career. He should be calling his own plays. Honestly,
Yep.
he should be calling his own plays. He's not, because he has a coach that made a book called Fearless, who wants credit for everything, to the point where as though he sends the guy out there and he does not want to be schematically consistent with everything. He doesn't want to listen. Everybody know runs the ball, run the air out of it. I'm gonna give you a stat that's gonna blow your mind. We're top 3 in the NFL in yards per carry. We're bottom 3 in the NFL in attempts. We don't try to run the ball.
Yep.
I know you know that because you're smart. So stop saying Carson. Let's talk about Doug for a minute.
Okay, let's talk about Doug. Let's talk about Doug. Let's talk about Doug. On that play when again, I think it was the Seahawks. That was, bro. I'm on the boat with everyone saying, why did Doug call that for instead of kicking the 3? I feel you, bro.
Right. No. All right. Before you go where you gonna go, I can't tell you this. Forget that. That's the Adam. Can you let's reiterate?
And then I'm gonna give you. You know what I'm saying? My point is, Doug called the play. I don't give a fuck. Doug called the play the play. So now, set Hart. The ball's out to Richard Rodgers. Conversion. 1st and goal. That didn't happen. Instead, set Hart. Waiting for Dallas Goedert to break open, you know what I'm saying, just to throw a choosy route. When he could have just hit Richard Rodgers on the first drop. You're a quarterback. You see the first guy to come underneath is wide open. So those are the plays that I say, okay, yeah,
you should get.
You know what I'm saying?
But
if we execute, we execute. And then that flips a lot of things. That's what people aren't understanding. And that right there is the epitome of what I've been just trying to get people to understand.
And I get you because we can point out plays like that. But before you get off, I want to tell you this.
Crucial play. That was a crucial play.
But how about this? And we won this game. How about when you go into a game and you're in a 4th and 3 in your own territory and you go for it against Ben DiNucci? Is that on the quarterback? Ben DiNucci, you can punt the ball 60 yards with one of the best punters in the league, pin him in his own 10, and say, Ben DiNucci, come beat me. Because I know you're not going to drop the ball 90 yards. But nobody worries about shit like that. We worry about Carson Wentz all the time.
Because for Carson
4th and 3 in your own territory, and you scared to punt
Carson barely
Ben DiNucci.
Ben DiNucci, he barely played better than him statistically in that
it's
game.
It's not delivery, it's DiNucci.
Because that's a rookie quarterback. I don't care what the plays
Ben DiNucci has 3 receivers.
Tried to throw
3 of them.
Shit
Amari
Cooper, that's on Carson.
Michael Gallup.
Carson's
I'll take Cedric
I'm
Wilson
sorry.
and I'll take a CD Lamb over half the guys we got. You can go out there with a hand tie behind your back and complete passes to guys like that. That's what I mean, a balance of power. And Amari Cooper, you can just throw a ball in his vicinity, he's going to catch it. He runs superior route. He runs the whole route tree, if you didn't know. Slants, comebacks, go routes. He can do it all. Of course, a guy like Ben DiNucci is going to look at least okay. Carson is throwing to your Travis Fulgham.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the one thing I can't stand about Doug right now is the fact that he always wants to go for it on 4th and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same plays every time. He calls the same 3 4th down plays every single time.
Marquise, real quick, just because I know we don't want to talk about Carson for the next 3 hours. What's your top five? If you were to give your top five, because we're going to finish the list once Tom gets back. Your top five current, Philly athletes under 28 or 28 and under. You said Carson's one, correct? Who's your 2 through 5?
Well, honestly, I was saying Carson because it was like the situation or whatever. But I gotta go JoJo.
Okay.
I got a tie. I got a 6. I got a tie. I got
My bad,
Hart.
bro.
I got Hart and Simmons.
Okay.
Tie.
Okay.
I got Bryce.
Okay.
And I got this is a shocker. I got Tobias. I just think Doc is going to get him back to. I think Doc is going to get him back into the what Brett took him away from. Brett tried to have the whole half court offense. He was trying to be Greg Popovich, and then like Tobias is used to running off of screens. He's a big JJ Redick. He wants to run off of screens. Yep. He wants to get that shot in the air, catch rhythm, and get 4 or 5 of those things going. So I think Doc is going to allow him to do that. That's why I don't think we're going to get James Harden, even though I want James Harden. Jesus Christ. But I don't think we're going to get him because they're going to want to test Tobias out. And I think it's going to work, honestly. I think he has all-star potential because when you got a guy like – he's been one. Yeah, bro. So, Rome, he's been one already. When you put him with an Embiid, I think Ben is going to start shooting a little bit more. And it's going to open up everything to whereas though defense is not going to be able to lamp on us, we're going to be able to run full court and just shoot. Like we kind of look like the Diet Warriors a little bit right now, where we have an elite center.
Yep.
We have an elite center. We have a better Draymond. No, we have a better Draymond than them. We have a big guy on it. That's
the green team on the Sixers now. Don't stop.
Nah, bro. You have to understand. Like people, we die down a little bit and we dial back on guys like Ben Simmons because they won't shoot. But if you take a step back and you look at him overall, he passes the ball. He defends it.
He does everything.
He gets to the bucket.
Yep. Yeah.
He kind of had like a little mid range going. If he shoots a 3-point, do you know who that like? He's unstoppable, bro.
If we use
he's
him like the 08 Celtics, like a Rondo, and just let him create for because he could create in space. You know what I'm saying? Like he could do everything.
He had a
Rondo,
top 3 shooter all time. Like,
you know what I'm saying? But if you put those pieces around him, he could be a force, I think. And you just let him develop that jumper mid range out. You know what I'm saying? You let him develop that off of that ISO. Where he's making that playmaking, you know what I'm saying?
I get that because I don't think he has the shoot. I think he's a power forward.
But you don't force him into plays where he has to. Okay, Ben, develop your shot on this play, or you know what I'm saying. You don't do it like that. You let him develop it throughout the flow of the play. You know what I'm saying, and the possession. I think.
Yeah. So Rome, who you said you have Carson 5. As far as under 28 athletes in Philadelphia, who's your 1 through 4 right now?
Honestly, I said that kind of quick and I'm a kind of retract because I don't want to be ignorant to the other Philly players that are great. Okay. Because I don't really watch too much hockey. I used to watch a lot of baseball back when we was in our World Series windows, but I really fell off of that, really. So I really just been honed in on Sixers and
I don't blame you
my whole life.
I don't blame you. The last 10 years hasn't been too good for the Phil, so I don't blame you.
But, I only said Carson because I'm just so critical. And when I talk about Carson, I talk about him like I want him to hear me. You know what I'm saying? Everything I say about Carson, I'll say to his face like a bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's real genuine shit that he needs to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not shit that he can't fix. You know what I'm saying? And yes, it's the team. You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'm too critical of just him. You know what I'm saying? I'll apologize to the Eagles fan base. You know what I'm saying? Because it really hasn't all been on him. You know what I'm saying? There's plays where I look and I'm like, damn. But so that's to answer that question. But my 1 through 5 is I'm gonna say JoJo because I just feel like JoJo, if he just turns his mentality from I'm a beast to I'm dominant, then that's when we'll see a really big upside change in JoJo. And I feel like we could really cement something around that in particular, opposed to a playmaking point guard who really, I just think you need to be able to shoot the ball as a 1 through 4. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, period. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the name. He's good.
So it's gonna be JoJo, Ben. I'm gonna put Carson at 3 just because I don't want to sound politically correct to
Just put him at 3. Just put him at 3. That's
no. I know. I'm gonna put Bryson at 4 because when I do tune into the Phillies, you know, that's our superstars. And at 5, just to support our Phillies, you know, I'm gonna go with what's that guy's name?
You just said Bryce. You talking about the Flyers?
No, the hockey.
Carter Hart.
Carter Hart.
Yeah.
Go with him. After I look up some highlights tonight, because I don't know his number.
Yeah.
You said George Ryan. Your top 5.
I'll give it again. It's Embiid 1, Simmons 2, Harper 3, Carter Hart 4, Carson 5.
Jeez.
Why Carson 5? Why Carson 5 though?
Because number one, I think Joel and Ben, they can change the league. You know what I'm saying? And listen, Carson was great, but it's been the consistency hasn't been there. To he drops a little bit. Harper, he's been that bona fide MVP, and I just think again he's a top 10 MLB player, top 15 at worst. And Carter Hart, what he's been able to do for this team so early in his career. And I know Flyers fans were getting at me like, "Oh, you're disrespecting Carter Hart." Like, if that you should be happy now, Flyers fans, because I've been on record and said that this guy has changed the way we look at Flyers hockey in a year and a half. Mm-hmm. So we're just when you talk about moving the needle, that's why to me, that's why I still have Carson in that top 5 because of the way he changes the needle and because of the position. To where he's got to be in the top 5 somewhere, but I'm just so much higher on those other guys. That's why he drops a little bit to me.
Yeah, like he has to be there because he's the franchise quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Yep.
Eagles quarterback, you know? If he was like a trash quarterback, obviously, then he's not in the running. But his potential is there. It's just I'm going to just chalk it up to a bad year in the overall. I really hope we don't move on from him because I really want to see what he has left after this season. Because I just want to see if he goes through that. What's your name? Carson?
Say it again. You're breaking up, Rome. Say it again.
What's dude's name? Oh, damn.
Marquise.
What's dude's name right here?
Marquise.
Marquise.
Okay, you play quarterback. You know what I'm saying? So if you was going through your slump, if you was in the league going through what Carson's going through, you know what I'm saying? And you heard a dude like me bashing you, you know, and like I you don't owe me shit, you know what I'm saying? But I just would hope that you would go in the gym, you know what I'm saying, and look in the mirror, you know what I'm saying, regardless of everything that's crumbled around you, you know what I'm saying? You know, if you was a better version of yourself, you know how you could have flipped the script, you know what I'm saying, and changed the narrative for the whole Philly, you know what I'm saying? Simple. That's it. I
think he's built for it, honestly. Like me, I'm an ex-athlete converted. I'm a producer now. Like, well, you know Meek Mills. I produce for Meek Mills and amongst other guys. So, but like I got athletic family, like my cousin Tyreek Evans, Rondé Hollis Jefferson. So we got the Jeffersons, the Evans, and the Motleys. So one of my cousins is suspended right now for something that they found in his urine. And he's working his ass off right now. Like Tyreek is trying to get back on the court. He's trying his hardest to get back on the court. He's almost eligible. So I see like how things work for athletes to where adversity is crazy when the spotlight is on you that crazy. This is not high school basketball or football. This is the NFL.
Hell yeah.
This is the NFL. And once you get paid, they're going to criticize you for everything.
Marquise, you said, I believe you said in the comments a couple of days ago, I think it was on Wednesday, that you had a Ben Simmons story for us.
Yeah, I signed my first publishing deal with an artist from Philly, PNB Rock. So I was signed with New Lane Entertainment for about 2 years. So the first time I went to the club, I went downtown, Old City. We go to this club or whatever. They usher us in through the back. So like the gate lifts up, like the show is about to start. It's a matte black Bentley outside, like just coming in. So I'm looking to the side. So they called me, they call everybody, and we all meet up at the back, and the entry goes into the stage. So Ben Simmons gets like 7 feet tall out of this small ass Bentley. He comes on. He comes with us. We goes on there. So we all talking and conversating or whatever the case is on stage. And I just drifted into my own world. Like I'm just listening to the music. The girls start coming on stage. This dude sat on stage for 4 hours and didn't drink one. He didn't have one drink, bro. Like he did. Like I'm talking. Like the bottle was free. Like they had him on the floor for us. The bottles was across the floor. He just stood there, just was chewing gum for 4 hours. Like,
Wow.
And this goes to like, hey,
I think we lost him.
Everybody's freezing up.
Marquise, I think we lost you, Marquise.
That sounds like that sounds getting to be a great story.
Yeah, when he comes back, he can finish it. Jake, re-say your top five because
my top five.
Yeah, because we're gonna do 6 through 10. We're gonna start our 6 through 10 in a minute.
Okay. Number 1, Joel Embiid. Number 2, Bryce Harper. Number 3, Ben Simmons. Number 4, Carson Wentz, and number 5 with Carter Hart.
And Daly, do yours real quick.
All right, you got. I got Carter Hart at number 1, Bryce Harper number 2, JoJo at 3, Ivan Provorov at 4, and Ben Simmons at 5.
Okay. Now, Philly Sports Passion on YouTube asks, where do you guys have Alec Boehm in the top 10? Well, we're going to tell you. We're going to tell you. Daly, because I think yours is going to be the most hockey-centric. And also, I want to see – I might use you, Daly. I might make some tweaks because there's a couple players I want to see where you put them. Give me your 6 through 10.
All right. Number 6 is where I put Carson Wentz.
Okay.
Number 7, I got Sean Couturier. Number 8, I got Kevin Hayes. Number 9, I have Aaron Nola. And at number 10, I have Travis Konechny. And you were right. It's very hockey-centric.
Kevin Hayes? How old is Kevin Hayes?
Kevin Hayes is 28 years old.
Real quick, Marquis says, laptop died, guys. I'm going to check in next Friday. Good stuff, though, Marquis. Good to have you.
Marquise.
How old is Kevin Hayes? I'm sorry.
28. He made the cut. Don't worry. I checked.
See what you do. See what you do to me. Jake, go ahead, Jake.
Right now, number 6.
You're gonna hate. You guys are gonna hate mine. I'm just telling you.
I'm excited for yours, actually.
I'm not. I'm dreading it.
Number 6, Sean Couturier. Number 7, Kevin Hayes. Number 8, Ivan Provorov. Number 9, Aaron Nola. And number 10, Alec Boehm.
Damn. Okay. Well,
I don't know if I could put Baum in mine yet. Like I had him in there originally.
You're gonna hate mine then.
It's only because you guys want to argue small sample size. We got a really small sample size out of Alec Boehm.
He's
gonna
be very good.
Stud. No,
he's gonna be very good.
I know he is, but it's like Tom was saying about Carter Hart. I need a little more out of Alec Boehm first.
Okay.
So my 6 through 10, I've got Ivan Provorov 6. I've got Travis Konechny 7. I've got Alec Boehm 8. I've got Miles Sanders 9. And I've got Tobias Harris 10.
Okay.
So I left off Aaron Nola and Sean Couturier.
Okay.
He's the best two-way player in hockey. I don't know how you can
I understand.
Stud.
He is a stud.
DB, is Lane Johnson and Fletcher Cox under 28? I think it's a no and no.
No.
I think it's a definite no and no.
Yeah, like I know that from
32.
Yeah. If we were doing honestly, no, I can't disrespect Fletcher. I was gonna say if it was like an all age thing, I don't know if Fletcher would be in there, but he would. I'm not gonna be disrespectful.
He would definitely.
Rome, you want to do a 6 through 10?
To be honest with you, I don't know any hockey guys. So whoever you guys named, if they were hockey guys, I just like gave you one of these.
Sounds good, right?
Sounds good. Pretty strong names. I I'm gonna go with Miles.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Miles off real quick. I'm
I
gonna go
could do
with
Miles just because of the passing game.
I'm gonna go with Dallas Goedert.
Okay.
Just because I don't feel like he's just getting started, to be honest with you. I feel like he has a lot of explosiveness that we see at times
I'm right there with you.
that he just doesn't unleash all the time, you know. I'm gonna go with Miles 7.
Okay.
Just because I was expecting a little more and I was a little shocked by his drops, and Tom kind of got me salty when he was getting on me about Miles.
Don't do it again, bro.
Pointing out
Oh,
the-
here he
the
is.
thought-
He's back.
Don't do it again. I came back
He
at
was
the wrong
poking at me. He was teasing me. If you don't know who that is, that's Bernie Mac.
Mhm.
But,
Listen, I want him to be. We need him to be good.
I know.
You know. So
That's why I put him 7, just because I expected a lot more.
Real
But,
quick, somebody said
I still feel like that spin move out the hole, the first play of the game was like, okay, if that guy's still in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, so 8, I'm gonna go with Jalen Rager, just because I feel like he has to replace not that he has to, but it's only right that he replaces Deshaun Jackson, you know, in that role. And I don't think he could be, you know, Deshaun Jackson's like a one of one, you know, but I don't think he could be like a Deshaun Jackson, because Deshaun Jackson showed instant flashes. Jalen has too, but the injuries and, you know, just the whole 2020 season is like, you really can't get a good glimpse of how good these guys might be. You know, their potential is kind of like a redshirt season to me. I don't want to say that, but I just feel like he has something in there. You know, I feel like his explosiveness is something that we could lean on, and he could kind of fill in the shoes of a Deshaun Jackson to a lesser role.
Okay.
9, I'm gonna go with, and this is a shocker. I don't know how old Jordan Mailata is.
He's young, 24.
He's 24. Yeah, he's 24, which is crazy.
Okay, but his upside is so huge, and his progression to me has been crazy, because it's like when we first drafted him, I'm like a rugby guy that just it's like an experiment guy, and now it's like, oh, this guy is getting it. You know, this guy is really grasping it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's looking strong out there. Like there's highlights of out there. He's pancaking guys. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's crazy, because he might end up being one of Howie's better picks. At the end of it, like when it's all said and done. Right now, no, but just based off of, like you said, Rome, what he went from a guy who never touched a football ever to starting left tackle and playing well for a couple games there when everything else around him was bursting into flames. He's not there yet, but the fact that he's even able to be on an NFL field and not embarrass himself is, I give him a lot of credit.
And the fact that you could
that's
kind
all
of
well
lean
and good.
towards him.
So quick. That's all well and good. That's all great. That's all great movie down the road and a great story. But to have him in the top 10 of players under 28 here, I can't.
No, he's just doing Eagles. He was just doing Eagles.
Oh, you're just doing Eagles. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Because I don't know really any hockey and
Oh, no, that's fair then. All right, cool. Go ahead.
I didn't want to be ignorant and just throw out any names, you know.
No, then he is right where you have him. Then I retract. Homer Simpson. I'm leaving. My bad.
But Tom, you can't tell me that he's looking like he
showed us more than Andre Dillard has.
Yeah.
So I'll give him that for sure. For sure.
Yeah, but okay.
No, you're right. 9 where you have him is perfect. That's right. For all Eagles, for Eagles under 28, yeah.
And the 10th guy, I would have liked it to go to a defensive guy, honestly, this is a biased pick. Only because I felt like we was gonna use him more, and maybe that just might be a testament to him just not being that great. But Kayvon Wallace, and I know it's kind of a stupid pick to throw in there because it's like, okay, you're gonna throw this guy above guys who's actually played and did something, but for me, it's like I want to see guys replace guys and kind of epitomize that position, So when we drafted a Kayvon Wallace, I was like, okay, it seems like this guy could epitomize what Brian Dawkins brought to our defense. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Rome, you're right in this sense. With the way this organization's going and how we're not going to be able to bring a lot of guys back, we need Kayvon. Next year needs to be a big year for Kayvon Wallace. Not compete. Like I'm not like one of those like, oh, we're going to compete for something, but just for the status of this organization. Like we need him to really show that he can play, because we're not going to be able to go out and get any flashy. I don't even know if McLeod's going to be back because they're all on 1-year deals.
Exactly.
Listen, I mean,
exactly.
and
then we throw out a guy like Epps. To be honest with you, I never even know. I didn't know who Epps was. And I seen him out there. Like,
You're not the only one. Don't worry.
I gotta get you on you. I gotta get on you about Kayvon Wallace, so because he doesn't have a right to be on this list.
Okay, that was
because like you can't. We did this. Derek. We did this with Derek Barnett. Like we can't compare guys because they went to the same school as a person and they play the same position. Like Kayvon Wallace is never going to be Brian Dawkins. He's never going to sniff his jockstrap. If he can be an All-Pro a couple times, that'd be a huge win. And to me, until proven otherwise, when it comes to this general manager and his picks of positions like that, all right, for certain positions, I say the jury's out.
Brian Dawkins. I just said I hope that we drafted him in hopes of developing a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking elsewhere and looking for the top free agent guy.
Remember something. Brian Dawkins was making plays his rookie year.
That's why I said it was a biased pick. And
no, I'm just giving you the other side of it.
No, I just threw it in there because it was kind of like in the future, in the top 10, for my top 10s, he would establish himself. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of a pick. But for a better pick, I'm gonna throw in there, and I'm gonna go. I want to go Sixers here, and I don't think I did throw Ben in there.
What about Tobias?
What's it? No.
Thibault?
No.
Maxey?
Joe?
No. I can't.
How old?
Oh, but it's in the same sense. He really didn't get much time.
Shake Milton?
Last season.
Milton? Shake Milton?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That was just because I was so high on him when we acquired him, and he was like, I thought it was like a budding thing, you know what I'm saying? But that was my guy. I Shake Milton, that's my guy, you know what I'm saying? That was my guy. I kind of viewed him the same way we viewed Tony Roten when we had him. You know what I'm saying? They was kind of like the same type of guy to me. You know what I'm saying? I love Tony Roten still to this day. And so those are two biased top 10 picks right there.
Tom, 6 through 10? Or do you want to hear? I don't know if you heard Daly's, Jake's, and mine yet.
Yeah, I heard him.
I don't think Tom likes my 10s.
No, it's hard when it's the Eagles, man, because there's not a whole hell of a lot. It's tough. It's tough. Alec Boehm's on my list.
Yep.
You know, when you stay with the Phillies, Aaron Noel's on my list.
Mm-hmm.
There's two Phillies. How old is Lane Johnson?
Too old.
I think he might be 31 or 30.
He's 30, right?
Who is it?
Lane
Lane
Johnson.
Johnson.
Yeah, I think he's in his
30.
30s.
He's 30.
30, exactly, yeah. I know some of these guys are close. How old is Raul Muto? 28?
Real Muto is
29,
30.
Oh, he is 30? Okay.
I think he turned.
30 already?
I think he is.
I thought he was like 28.
29. He'll be turning 30 in March.
Fucking bastard. Just trying to
Don't sign him. He's 30. Don't sign him.
don't say that on. Don't say
No,
that.
no. Sign him. Give him a 3 or 4 year deal. Sign him.
It's not happening.
If he takes it.
So if you go back to the Eagles, man, it's bleak.
It's bad.
I would say probably you're Jesus God. I mean, it might be Derek Barnett.
I was thinking that.
Philly sports passion. It's Wheeler's 30.
Yeah, we were too old. That's why I put Noah in there instead, which is fine. You know, Noah, Harper, and Baum are in the top 10 for the Phillies, the Philly athletes. And then you know, I'm going to go back to the Flyers, and I'll probably put Konechny in there, which is I think everybody would agree on that one. Somewhere in your top 10. So is that 10? Is that 10 it there, or am I at 9?
I think you're at 9.
You know who would have been, but we let go of, and I was a big fan. Most people probably didn't like him. Michael Kendricks.
I like Kendricks. I mean, you know, I like Kendricks for what he was, especially when we have no linebackers.
Yeah, but
I think his only flaw really was coverage.
My last guy will be. I'll go back to the NBA, and I'll go back to the NBA. I'll take Tobias. I'll round it out. You know, a little on that, like that peak of that 28, but whatever. We'll take him. There's not
Did
a
we
lot.
even sign Tobias?
Yeah, and I know he's going to be here, so
Mhm.
it makes that decision a little easier. You know,
I
I
didn't
don't know
say
if Barnett's
Tobias because I didn't like the signing, to be honest with you.
Well, listen, most people don't. It's one of them things you had to do.
Yeah, I get it.
But I'll put the bias 10. If I had to order it, Noel would go 6 to me. 'Cause, you know, I like his track record. I mean, I know he's faded at the end of a couple seasons, but the whole team has too. But he had a chance to get us in this year. He didn't. But I mean, that's what we're dealing with here. You know what I mean? All over the board. So I'll put him 6. I'd probably put Konechny 7. Because I mean he has a bright future. And then I'll go Baum 8. And then I would go Tobias 9 and Barnett 10.
No Provorov?
Oh, I meant Provy. My bad. Did I say Konechny?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can go either way.
Yeah, I mean,
Kobe's the best defender, and Konechny's the best.
Yeah, I'm a
Sure.
score guy, dude. I'm a score guy. I like Provy, but I'm a light the lamper. You know what I mean? I need him to be able to light lamps, so he's important to what I'm trying to get to for the Flyers. You know what I mean? And defenders go overlooked. It's part of the nature of the beast. They get it.
It's
You know what I mean?
it's kind of hard to name young guys because it feels like we're moving in directions where we're kind of flushing our drafts like right away. You know, it's like as of lately, our draft picks haven't really been cementing themselves or sticking around. So,
Well, man, I mean, you guys talk about Goddard and Miles and other names like that. I mean, they've been fine. They haven't showed me they're going to be here forever, right? You know.
I
Well,
say
I mean,
that.
what's
I say Goddard
crazy
because
is
he's obviously about to replace Zach Ertz.
I mean, I like Dallas.
I mean, we keep talking about all these organizations that aren't really hitting on draft picks. I think the Sixers did a good job last year as far as some of their picks go. I think Dible's been good.
Mhm.
I can't wait to see what Maxey does. I think the Flyers have, honestly, they've been the best team in the city with drafting lately.
I was talking pertaining to the Eagles. I apologize. I didn't.
No, that's all
put it
right.
in
I'm
context.
just,
I didn't
I'm
put it
just
into
going across the
context.
board.
though.
The Flyers have drafted better than anybody in this city.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt.
Of course. You know, they got all these guys that are in the pipeline that haven't even come up yet. That are they're going to wreak havoc.
Nuts.
Now, I'll ask you guys this because we just did a top 10, and I'm not saying we do a top 10 on what I'm about to say because that's going to be painful. But because I was telling Daly earlier, I was saying, I wanted to do the worst athletes in Philly, but in actuality, the worst athletes in Philly are guys that we don't even know, what I'm saying, that aren't even on the roster. So I'll ask you guys this. Each of you, who are your top 3 most disappointing Philly athletes of 2020?
Carson.
Yeah, that's obvious. Can we just smush it all together and do the union?
No, that's only Saturday mornings. Only they can do that.
Al
All right.
Horford, if he's still
He's my
is
one.
eligible.
That's a great
He's
one.
my one.
Horford's one.
I didn't even think about Horford. That's a great one.
Yeah. I hated that when that move was made, when that popped up on my phone, I wanted to throw it right through the windshield.
He just never lived up to the contract. That was his biggest issue.
I would say the Phillies bullpen as my.
I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
They get all punched. Huh?
I mean, for me, it's Horford's one. And I think this is definitely going to change for me. My number 2 right now is Tobias Harris, and I think that's going to change with Doc Rivers. So he'll move up on my list. 3 is Jake Arrieta. Never lived up to his contract.
Oh, God, that's a great name.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, but what's worse, Jake Arrieta or our entire bullpen?
I mean,
the entire bullpen, but singular player-wise area.
No, because no singular player lost for us outside of an entire bullpen. Nothing else mattered for an entire year of 2020. I don't care what Jake Arrieta did for 2020. He was barely on the field. He doesn't even matter. We all knew he wasn't going to be good. We hoped to be able to get some outs in the back end of our bullpen. We didn't get any. That's a singular issue. That's singular players. That's every player that stepped foot of that bullpen got their titties ripped. Every player. There isn't a player that didn't come in, right, that didn't get hit all around the ballpark. Every time.
I don't disagree.
We'll lump them all as one player.
Well, then I'll do the Eagles' offensive line as 2 then.
You can do the Eagles.
If we're doing that, yeah.
I mean,
I was just getting creative with my 3rd pick. You know what I mean? That's all I was doing. I wasn't like my first 2 are easy.
We paid Jake Arrieta a lot of money to be a number 2, number 3. He was barely a number 5.
Yeah, but we're picking him at the end when we expected him to not be good. That's 2020's year we expected him not to be good. We expected him to be good at least for year 1 and year 2 of that deal. He wasn't good for any of it.
Right.
He wasn't good for any of it. If we're talking about bad contracts in Philly sports, he's there. He's right up at the list, the top of the list over the last X amount of years. Like we did worst Philly contracts last 5 years. He might be number 1. You know what I mean? To your point. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was just thinking this whole grouping, picking the offensive line right, we assume and we see stats that say that they were a big contributor to our failures, right? Mm-hmm. But when you talk about the Phillies bullpen, the 3rd worst of all time, the amount of blown saves, it's stuff that you're not assuming is your downfall. You know it's your downfall.
Yeah.
Just know it. You can't run from it. Some people say, well, the offensive line's played well, Tom. You've heard it. You know what I mean? You've heard people justify it. You could never come in and be like, Yo, Tom. Bullpen's run pretty well, aren't they?
To me, just play devil, because I can't disagree with the bullpen thing. I just can't, because they were historically bad. The only reason why I didn't go to them was just because I don't think any of us expected them to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like we expected, we head into the year oh, Clintac, you really want to do this? Now we didn't expect them to be historically bad, which obviously plays a big factor in it.
Ryan, if they're average, they're in the playoffs. So I don't like we didn't expect them to be the best bullpen in baseball, but we sure expected to be average. So when we expect you to be average and you're the 3rd worst of all time. That's why Carson's on this list for me. Because your turnovers are record setting and I can't run from them. No matter what's bad around you, you turn the football over. It's the same thing. That's like when you're watching a game, you're like, okay, he's a big part of why we're losing. You can look at it. and not the main reason, but he's a part of it. He's a percentage of it. And so is the offensive line, and so is the receivers, But I was just looking at it like, damn, if you were just average, like if the Eagles' offensive line was average, we're probably still not a playoff team because we're atrocious everywhere else.
Is that your one?
No.
The bullpen? Okay.
No, my one was Carson Wentz. My 2 was Al Horford. And my 3 was the bullpen.
And you know what's the worst part about that entire bullpen?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, that's all.
The worst part is the Phillies would go into the 8th and 9th innings up 7, 8 runs, and then we'd still blow it.
It'd be 4-1 every game. We'd be up 4-1.
Yep. Double headers were winning both and lose both.
Yep.
It's unfreaking believable. I've got just.
No, I don't want it to make it like a cop out. Like, I wasn't copping out of that that exact thing. It was just
they sucked.
I was like, like it's a good conversation too, because what have they done at all yet to make you think they're going to address that besides bringing in Dave Dombrowski? Like bringing Dave Dombrowski, I would hope that now he would sign here knowing the checkbook's open. I would hope. Hopefully. But I don't know.
There's a bunch of good relievers out on the market too, so hopefully we snag some of them.
I'm telling you, I'm not trying to get into this.
Would you rather have like 4 like big time upgrade bullpen guys or Real Muto back?
Can I get one of each?
I'm upgrading the bullpen.
Yeah, I am too.
I love JT, but I saw how much it killed us not having an average bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going well-rounded team. I've dealt with the top-heavy teams before. I've dealt with that. I've seen that enough.
No, and it's a valid point because it doesn't matter what Real Muto does at the plate if the bullpen can't hold a lead.
It doesn't matter what the offense does. Like, go one step above. It doesn't matter what the offense does. The offense could leave the field with 6 runs and we can lose 7-6.
Yep.
That was happening. That was happening.
That's exactly my point.
You could go 3-0. You could just not put an offense out there and just say, "Hey, we're going to go right to the 9th inning. We're up 3-0. Go ahead and beat us," and then they would beat us.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's why I'm not trying. Like, this is for another thing, but that's why I think Hoskins is getting traded for bullpen arms, just to add to it. And I'm not saying Rhys Hoskins is a friggin' prized possession, but I just think that's happening.
No, back. But that's a good point, right? Because if I'm trading Hoskins for bullpen arm, right? If I can, then it's more. Then I'm probably going to lean towards like Brian said, the 1-for-1. Like in terms of like, okay, then I'm going to sign JT then because I went out and got a good enough upgrade somewhere in my pen.
Well, I mean, you don't even necessarily need to trade Hoskins at this point. Think of all the relievers that are on the market right now. You got Liam Hendricks, who is one of the best closers in baseball last year. Alex Colom's on the market. Trevor Rosenthal is on the market. What's his name? Archie Bradley. Archie Bradley's on the market. I mean, he's probably the worst one with the about 2.5 ERA last year, but these are all good arms that are on the market. You may not have to trade Rhys Hoskins.
Oh, you don't have to.
Stupid money signs 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
Stupid money does, but I'm not here to tell them what to do with their billions again.
My three real quick is 1 Horford, 2 Wentz, 3 Deshaun Jackson.
I like Deshaun.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because all the talking he did. Like if you go back and like scroll your memories from last year, which I do all the time, and I notice like, look at this guy's comments about how he's going to come back stronger. You jerk off. Love the memories, love the punt return, love the miracle, love the dancing against the Cowboys and all that fun shit. And I love you for your past. But since you came back, you've been probably a top 5 biggest disappointment in Philly sports. Over the last X amount of years
of the decade. Just
because he never played. Like even if he played and gave 800 yards and 5 touchdowns, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right.
I think he's
our wide receiver grouping wouldn't be so bad.
He's played a game and a half in 2 years.
Yo, that's
it's crazy to think about.
This organization fell for his shit.
Yep.
This organization fell right into the palms of like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come back stronger next year. Well, you all did a disservice by not getting him surgery 8 weeks fucking before he should have got surgery last year, which we all talked about, and he would have came back for the playoffs. You know what I mean? Fresher. It was all a mess. So typical Eagles. Relied on a guy who's been banged up, and the same thing they did with their other veteran guy, and neither one panned out for them, and it has killed Howie Roseman's roster because when he drafted JJ and he drafted Jalen, he drafted them in hopes of taking them slowly because that's all this jerk off does. So when these two guys all of a sudden can't play anymore because they're either banged up, etc., or shell themselves when they are on the field, then this is what you get. This is what you get.
Dan, he says, so if Hoskins and JT are both gone, where are you scoring runs from? Is Bryce hitting 3 runs, home runs a game? Well, first off, Dan, I'm not the GM that put him in this situation, Dan. Right. Number 2, as we've seen, pitching matters too because you could put up 4 home runs a game and still lose by 3.
Yep.
And on top of that, you still have guys like if you bring Gregorius back and you have Bohm. Like I'm not trying to say that those are real Muto, but we got to remember how Hoskins has literally. I mean, he sucked for about a year and a half out of the last 2 years. Like I should be asking the same question. Like, oh, if Hoskins is gone, who's going to strike out looking 3 times a game? Like that. If I want to go after you,
it's a shame because Hoskins was starting to turn around and then he got hurt.
He's an American League player. He's an American League DH. He'd be perfect on the Indian. Just go. You know what I'm saying? Trade him to the Indians. Trade him to the Mariners.
They need
I wish
one.
I was still watching baseball.
You know what though, Rob? Too is that like I think they missed the boat on it too. They get worth its stuff back. Like you're almost in this position where you're like, all right, I might as well just fucking hold on to him then because if he can play, I'm going to get more out of him than I'm going to get back in a reliever. But again, you put yourself in such a hole in your bullpen. I don't know how you get out of it, and I just can't believe that you don't have 4 arms in your system somewhere that you believe that you strictly believe that can't get out. Like I gotta believe through that whole clusterfuck last year, there wasn't 5 arms or 4 somewhere down from freaking rookie fucking ball. You hear me? All the way up to AAA. If there isn't 4 arms that come through 98 and get outs, then this whole organization is a clusterfuck, which we already knew.
It's Tom. That you're spot on. That's why Why do you think I was arguing with Wilson and you guys, or not necessarily you because you understood, but like Wilson would always get mad at me when I would say like a year and a half ago, like, oh, we got to trade Hoskins. We got to trade. It's not because I hate Hoskins. It's because when you talk about value and when you could afford it back then because he still had value. He was 2 years younger, and you had real Muto and Bryce Harper to depend on for power.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And we knew coming up after 2 seasons ago, we were going to have a black hole at the bullpen because of all the expiring contracts. Like I said,
I mean, they go out and they get, Robertson.
God, that guy.
Last year,
what a waste of a contract that was.
Ago, and he's expected to come in and be your closer, which he was never really a great closer anyway. He was better as a setup man.
Yep.
And for some reason now we're trying to reinvent a wheel, put him in a closer. Washington, he doesn't throw a strike. He hasn't thrown a strike, I don't think, for the Phillies.
Can you guys fill me in real quick? Have we had a better closer since Brad Lidge?
Technically, Papelbon. Technically, he broke all of Lidge's. Yeah, he broke all of Lidge's records.
Yeah, I'll take Papelbon's worst year.
I mean, besides the big name.
Nah.
This is how you do your bullpen, right now. The good organizations, they grow their bullpen through their minor league system. This organization has failed at this miserably for years. It's a fucking joke. So everybody out there that says, oh, Dave Dombrowski, you're all in the win. He's going to trade all your prospects. Listen, I don't care. Okay, I don't care anymore. This is a big market. Big market. Spend money and try to win in baseball. That's what you're set up to do. I'm so sick of hearing trade prospects. I'll trade prospects every fucking day for JT Realmutos of the world. You understand? Every day. And then dot them the hell up and go try to win 3 in a row. All right? That's what you try to do. But this organization and the Phillies has been such a cluster, right, Rome, that they'll go sign Bryce Harper to a monster deal. They can't. They weren't able to get a deal done with a guy that grew up in their system. And Manny Machado, which tells you everything you need to know. Okay, the owner had to get involved on the Harper deal, all right, to get him to even sign here. He didn't even want to come here, all right. Owner must have massaged him or something. I don't know what happened. All right, what he sold him on. Okay, besides cigars, probably had a great cigar together. And then you go out, you trade for JT Realmuto, which is a great deal, but you give up a young rookie catcher who can play, and you give up your best arm in your farm system, which is fine, which is 100% fine. You do it every day and twice on a doubleheader. But guess what you need to do? You need to then sign that guy. You can't have that both ways. Now, through all these two big signings, you go get Didi, you get Gene. You really do a great job with your offense. Really did a great job with their offense. Probably, in my opinion, one of the most dangerous offense in the NL this year.
It was fun. It was fun to watch.
Right?
It was fun.
Guess what you don't do, Rome? You go halfway in, and you put a bunch of – listen, they came out with their bullpen before the season started, and I don't think there's a baseball guy around that didn't say, who?
Yeah.
I was saying who.
Yeah.
I was saying who.
And then the only guys that had experience in this league, they cut. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that they would have been great, but they would have been better than the freaking you know what I'm saying? These no-name guys that are 22.
Sirianni's been in a tough spot before.
Exactly. Hey, Tom, I respect that knowledge that you just dropped on me, because honestly, like, I haven't been in tune with the whole baseball in Phillies since, I want to say, 2014, 15. You know what I'm saying? That's when it dropped off. And but to know that that's how we're operating just fills me in. I feel like now I'm really enticed to jump on board again. Not to say I'm a bandwagon fan, but I've always been a Philly everything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Born and raised in Providence, Rhode Island. And my family's from Philadelphia, you know, lived out there, but yeah, so I'm Philly everything. So but yeah, that just makes me like kind of like frustrated, because it's like the same thing how we're like failing Wentz in a sense. You know what I'm saying? We're failing our offense by not backing the guys
on defense.
On defense, exactly.
You know, it's like the common theme for Philly sports, you know, in 2020. Listen, it's such a joke that we watched such good offensive baseball last year, and if our bullpen was even below average, they could have been the 8th worst bullpen in baseball, right? And we still make the playoffs. That's how much of a joke it was.
It was literally the last year of baseball for us, because it was even bled into 2 years ago, but not as bad as this. It was literally, and Tom's absolutely right, our offense was really fun to watch, especially having a guy like Alec Boehm, who's our young guy. He's like I think a lot of people compare him to like the next Jason Worth with a little bit more power. Like, he reminds us a lot of that. It was like watching an exciting offense, right? With knowing in the back of your head, the bullpen's going to come and ruin. So you could have fun for 6-7 innings, put up 6-7 runs, but you know, damn, it's a ticking time bomb, because once the bullpen comes in, we're going to lose the game. It's like we would have the offense knowing we're going to lose.
Yep.
And what's the worst part is
did we even have an ace that we could rely on, or like even like think like?
Listen, our starters through
Ryan, you said it. We was losing a lot of high scoring games and stuff, but that like and I would tune in and I would be like, damn, I would see it on Sports Center. I'll be like, damn, why are we losing these close games? You know what I'm saying? But I wouldn't go and do my research on it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, damn, are we just?
I'll tell you, we didn't get an out past the 7th inning.
But that's but you answered my question, and I haven't even been watching the sport for years. And
if there was mercy rules and pitch counts, we would be done even sooner. Like, if they were like, oh, your bullpen can only throw this amount of pitches or the game's over. Like, we would have been done in probably, you know, an out into the 8th. You know what I mean? It would have been, all right, game's over, guys.
It was literally like we would give up maybe 2 runs in the first 6 innings, but then 5 runs in the last 3.
Yeah,
that's what it was every game.
I think the worst part is, you know, we started out with that bullpen where, like Tom was saying, it was just perfect way. It was like, who? So Matt Klentak goes out, trades a bunch of guys, gets Brandon Workman, gets Heath Embry, and a couple other guys who are more established relievers in the league,
and they were
same result.
And they were is it more
same result? Too late, right, Bri? It was too late because you already had the culture built of nobody can get an out, so like contagious. So like you should have did that. Like we talked about earlier on here, you should have did that with Liriano and some of the other guys you had in camp, right? Because at least you've seen them guys pitch. I feel like they brought a bunch of guys in that weren't even in spring training. Like, I don't even remember these guys in spring training. Like, I feel
None of them.
I feel like they started lifting rocks up and say, "Oh, yeah, this guy."
Rome's absolutely right comparing it to the football thing because it's literally like picture this, everybody, and tell me if I'm right. I think I'm on the right track.
Well, we never get a lead, so
in a fantasy world where we had a lead, it would be like Carson in the offense putting up 35 a game, but us losing 40 to 35.
Yep.
It's the same exact thing.
It would be, you know what it would be? You know what exactly what it would be? I'll just tell you this. Let's take it outside of Philly. It would be the Falcons in the Super Bowl versus the Patriots.
Damn, you get out of my head. Get out of my head. I was just going to say that.
Every game. Felt like we were like, cruise control 5-1. I'll switch the channel for a little bit. Come back 5-5. Wait, what the fuck? I changed for 5 minutes.
With the bullpen.
Not even.
With the bullpen thing and the Phillies again, because I'm really intrigued because I was really in tune with the Phillies. And so I'm just wondering, is it a talent thing or is it something they're just not doing late in games?
Talent.
Yeah, it's talent.
I'm not crowning, but they did have a great big league manager, or a damn good one, and a damn good pitching coach, right? And it was so bad the pitching coach left. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, "No, I'm done this year. Like I'm not coming back to this mess." Like that's how bad it is to me.
Yeah.
Like he had no reason to leave. Like he signed up here because they thought they were going to win. And he probably straight face looked at this bullpen and said, "What the fuck did you do, Matt? What did you do?" and I just think that that's a reason he left. And the guy that's in now, you know, he's well respected. Yeah, that's all well and great. But at the end of the day, I don't care who your fucking pitching coach is. I care about your talent in your bullpen. And I know somebody said, "Well, the Dodgers bought their bullpen." Some of it, not most of it's they're young talent, dude.
They've also got a great farm system. That's why the Dodgers have been great for years.
Don't compare us to the Dodgers ever because they draft well, they develop well, and they spend money. They're the definition of it, right? And the Yankees are right there with them in a way, but the Yankees are a little bit different, but similar. But listen, the Dodgers finally got over their damn hump. And
I mean, perfect. You know, look at it this way. You want to see homegrown, right? Corey Seager. Cody Bellinger, Clayton Kershaw, what's his name? Justin Turner. All guys are huge parts of that team, huge parts of that lineup. Kenley Jansen. All these guys were brought up in the Dodger system.
Is you know who's on the trade market, I think? And I heard this the other day. Blake Snell's on the market.
I saw a trade scenario with his name in there.
I mean, we can't get out to the bullpen, so we might as well try to get another starter.
Man,
What Philly franchise is would you say is most primed, or I would say most primed to win a championship sooner?
Sixers.
It's between the Sixers and the Flyers, but I'm leaning Sixers right now.
Sixers right now, but long term Flyers.
Yeah, Jake, and hockey's weird, Jake. Like the Flyers can win it next year because that's how hockey is.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like,
All you gotta do is
They're
get
built
the
to do it for the next, theoretically, if all their drafts go well, they're built to do it for the next 10 years.
100%. Yep.
If I had to honestly rank it 1 through 4, it's Sixers, Flyers, Phillies, Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about right.
And that's not me saying I'm high on the Phillies. That's me saying I'm down on the Eagles. Like just because the Phillies are third doesn't mean I'm very happy about them because I'm not.
I mean, the Eagles are that big of a mess right now.
Yep.
They really are. It's going to take a couple years to fix what Howie's done.
I can't put the Phillies after this jerk off. Said the shit he said this offseason. No shot.
No.
They're fourth. The Eagles stink, and the Phillies are still fourth because their owner's a jackass right now. So if Philly cleans this shit up, and I see something different, and Dave Dombrowski's a good start, all right, you're a jackass to me, and you're going to be fourth to me on purpose because you don't deserve to be anything more than that because you're a halfway in loser last year. Actually, the last 2 years, you're halfway in jerk off, okay, and then this year you want to come out and cry bankrupt to us. You know what I mean? Almost like cry how broke you are. Grow up.
Yeah, Rome. When you say you haven't watched for the Phillies in a while, part of me is kind of envious because when we had an owner about 2-3 weeks ago try and claim that the organization lost $2.6 billion when in actuality he only lost like 126 million. Like these guys are liars. You know what I'm saying? Like we've got owners that are literally conning the fans.
Yeah, just one really. I don't think Jeffrey tries to con us.
No, he's just loyal. He's just loyal to the wrong people.
Yeah.
Sariq says it's just a vibe with the Flyers. They're dangerous. No, they absolutely are.
They're trending.
Billy Sports Patch says Sixers, Flyers, Union, Phillies, Eagles. Yeah, I just can't put the. I mean, the Eagles are in disarray right now, but I can't put. I just can't put straight face put Phillies over anything right now.
Mm-mm.
The thing I like about Dave Dombrowski is I feel like he's going to be that guy that's the complete opposite of Matt Klentak. Klentak was like, okay. Dave Dombrowski, I feel like, has a set on him, and he's going to be like, listen, you wanted to spend stupid money. You want this team to win a championship. You want to get your money back? Best way to get your money back is get into the playoffs. So let me spend your money. Let me build this roster. Let me get you your money back, and let's go win a goddamn championship.
Yep.
I feel like he's that guy. So I think it's great for the organization. So that's kind of why I'm putting him over the Eagles right now.
That's fair. That's fair. But, it's also – listen, I told you, it's a step in the right direction, Bri. But this asshole said a lot of stuff that just doesn't get erased until I see a change in this roster, right?
Agreed.
Talk to me talk to me in a month from now, right? And we'll really find out if they're above the Eagles. that team that's gone to the playoffs for 3 straight years before this year. We'll talk about they're above the Eagles and when this team hasn't gone to the playoffs since 2011. You know what I mean? They've been talking about 2019, 2020. There are years. Well, you're up. You're up now. So a lot of pressure on what I see this roster's put together before they can jump the Eagles. And I know the Eagles are a train wreck, but I have a lot more confidence in the Eagles making the playoffs right now than I do the Phillies. Not this year, moving forward. And that's known, their cap and everything. And I still have more confidence, even with their shit GM. Because I still believe in the owner to make the right decisions. I still believe in Jeffrey Lurie that's always tried to put out a winning football team to make the right decisions. I do not trust John Middleton with that because he's proven otherwise. The fucking loser. Proven otherwise. Jeffrey's always tried to give us a winning product. Always. Always has. And I'll give him credit for that. Right? Didn't get over the hump for a while, and then finally did. But at least he gave us a product for a long time. Unlike this asshole.
Listen, I agree with everything you're saying about Middleton. I got nothing to say that could dispute that because he is.
What'd you say, Pope? Do you see the Phillies working a deal for Hader if he's indeed being shopped? Listen, man. Listen, Pope, I'm shopping for Hader. I'm shopping for Snell. I mean, if Dombrowski loves emptying farm systems, I'm all in. All right? All right? Are we trying to win or what are we trying to do? So, all in. All in. And he says Pope says Dombrowski is a fabulous hire. I agree. I think it's a great hire when you're trying to win now. Now, it's another, you can't fake shit with me anymore. You faked me on Harper. You faked me on Real Muto. All right? In a way. And you faked me on Harper because I thought we were winning right away. Like, okay, we're really going to try to win right away. You're not faking me on Dombrowski until I see this goddamn roster this year. You're not faking me. Nope. And I think it's a great hire, but you're not faking me. You're not smoking mirror me again.
I'm going to ask you guys this, and it's a random question, but I think it's important. Who do you guys think is the center fielder? Because the reason why I ask is I'm extremely confident in who it is, and it's nobody on the team.
Nobody on the team. I mean, I think it's Adam Hazley right now.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Until it's not.
What about Jackie
Did
Bradley
this shit just
Jr.?
freeze?
I mean,
I would be okay with JBJ.
is he a free agent?
Yep.
Maybe, but you also have the only problem is, Rye, is you got these guys. It depends what they want to do because you have these guys still under team control.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard.
Tough. Yeah, it's tough.
You have McCutchen another year here.
I can just see them if they don't bring, because I don't think you're going to have to pay a lot for Jackie Bradley. You know, and honestly, I think he's that perfect defensive center fielder that we've been needing. And I'm not saying, like, I like Hazley. So I'm not, if Hazley is a starting, center fielder.
I like the name. I just think there's I like the name. It's just if we didn't have so many bullpen holes, I would say, yeah, let's go put our assets there because I love defense. You know what I mean? And I like Jackie Bradley Jr. a lot. But because we have so much team control in that spot right now with 3 different guys, all right, and just thinking baseball-wise, how they're fucking losers with team control, and what we need, I would just rather put all my assets and chips into pitching right now. And if that's another starter, if that's bullpen help, I don't care. Now, if you're willing to spend stupid money, then so be it. And give me Jackie Bradley Jr. and give me arms out of the pen and give me them things. So I'm not putting my nose up to him. Don't think that because I like him. But I think it's either Hazley. I think Moniak gets a chance to try to win this job. Former number 1 picks, they get their chances. They do.
It's just,
and they should.
And again, I'm absolutely fine with that. Just, I don't know if it's me just looking for things, and I'm not trying to be like all these other freaking writers in the city that are trying to create storylines that coaches don't like players. But don't you just get that vibe that Girardi didn't trust Hazley because it felt like he didn't play him enough, like at all. You know what I'm saying? Like Hazley's the type of guy to me to where the only time you're going to truly see his value because he's a consistent guy. He's all that consistency.
Like Quinn. I just think they like Roman Quinn's skill set.
And I just think that, and his skill set, fine, but the fact that they're going to put him in, because I don't even go by ceiling anymore, because the guy's a slapper. You know what I'm saying? Like Hazley, at least, I'm not saying Hazley has power, but I mean, the guy, like we talked about, you put more assets in Adam Hazley, and I think that he's more what this team needs. He's more consistent on, in the field. I know he doesn't have the burst, and he can't cover as much ground as Roman Quinn, but Roman Quinn, he's out for more games than he's in.
Yeah.
And it's not even just that. The dude barely hits 200. He doesn't get on base.
I just think Hazley could be that. Maybe Hazley's, his career is going to be that first man off the bench type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like a pitch hitter. But I just think what this guy has shown me in such a small sample size to where he can be consistent when he's not getting consistent playing time. It just makes me think, damn, well, if you gave him a week and a half, maybe he can get a little bit of a rhythm here. I don't know. It just seems like he was just one of those guys because this, Tom. I mean, obviously working, in with baseball and everything. It seems like every major league manager, they have their favorites and they have their guys that they don't trust. You know what I'm saying? And it just watching this the way, and I'm not trying to say he was Gabe Kapler the way he did lineups, but it was just like, damn, man, like Hazley's here. You picked him to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Let him be that guy.
Funny thing is, he didn't pick him.
Well, I know, yeah, but the organization, you know what I mean?
Now, Dombrowski comes in, he didn't pick any of them.
Well, that's why I go to Jackie Bradley, not because of the former Red Sox thing, but just like, okay, well,
Hazley could get moved, Moniak could get moved.
Yeah, that could be a big ticket guy. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Stott goes like Dombrowski's the type of guy that's gonna, he's gonna move your young guys.
Right on went up.
Stott,
yeah,
yeah. Especially because Gregorius is not going to be here for very long.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, Hazley and Moniak can go tomorrow if you're giving me arms. I mean, Moniak, I need to just because of where he slotted at. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna be any good, but just where he was slotted at, I would like to get something back for him.
All right. Well, let me ask you guys this: do you see Dombrowski being aggressive this offseason?
I think we're going to see. I mean, I get in trouble saying this because I always say it and it never happens. To where I set myself up for failure and disappointment, mostly disappointment.
Well, no, the owner cried broke. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what he really can do. Like, if the owner's going to be that like money focused, I just don't see how you can be quote aggressive.
Yeah,
if you're worried about money. So
he can be aggressive with the trade market, though. That's where he can be aggressive.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but like, what can
big
really,
contracts.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Like, Jake, yeah, you're still going to bring on big contract. You're going to bring on big contracts if you want to get if you're all in the win.
I mean, you're right, but I'm not even saying like making the splash trades. I'm saying like you're trading, 2 of your guys for, or let's just say, the Hoskins thing, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You're bringing in role players, or not even role players. You're bringing in, lower level bullpen guys. You know what I'm saying? To where, if anything, none of those guys you'd be getting back for Hoskins, I don't think would be big money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? To where instead of
bullpen arms usually aren't.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like instead of the mindset we've been stuck with because we've been lied to because of this organization where, we're going to package 5 of our guys for 1. What if we package 2 of our guys for 4 or 1 of our guys for 3? You know what I'm saying?
No, I mean, listen, with Dave in here, it's possible for him to do that. He's also been a believer of his homegrown town and places he's been at too. It's not like he's made that many trades of great players. All right, there's a few, right? You know what I'm saying? There's a few, but remember, like everybody he kept with Boston that was homegrown that are still there. You know what I mean? Offensively, that were still there and contributed. So I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's missed or get rid of everybody either. But this first year could be strange because he could be in viewing everything year one. You know what I mean? And not really being overly aggressive and sort of seeing what he thinks his team needs, right?
Yeah.
So it could go a couple freaking ways on us. And as long as this guy's claiming bankruptcy, like I don't trust this guy to do anything for us yet.
Tom, you make a good point. You know what's probably going to happen because you're right. The guys come in. It's going to be not a shortened off season, but it's going to be a weird off season. Then you hear about the money and just all the there's different levels to it this year for numerous reasons. It's probably going to say, okay, you're going to stick with as many guys as you can without being embarrassing, to start the year, and then you're probably going to see a purge halfway through the year. You know what I'm saying?
Hopefully.
Because I mean, yeah, exactly. And then like I hear today, the Velasquez thing, which I know you mentioned a couple weeks ago, Tom, or I think it was last week, that Velasquez, just because we bring him back doesn't mean he's here. It could be, he's traded, and apparently there's like multiple teams that have reached out, which I don't know why they would do that because who the hell is Vince Velasquez? You know what I'm saying? Like maybe they reached out so he could be a closer, something that I know Tom, we've been saying a lot for like 5 years now. Like, hey, Velasquez should be the closer or at least a bullpen guy.
He got traded here.
Yeah, true. But no, I'm not over the moon with the Dave Dombrowski thing not because of Dombrowski, but just because anybody that this owner hires, it makes me think, oh, well, this owner's an idiot. That means he thinks it's got, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the judgment's just off.
Mm-hmm.
But I know this guy at least has a track record. When they brought in the Clintax and all that stuff, they purged the Orioles organization, and that organization didn't do anything. It's like, why would you try and copy an organization that did nothing? At least Dombrowski, God, at least he's done something.
He's got 3 World Series under his belt.
3
He's an established GM in this league. Yeah.
Oh, listen, he's a guy who knows how to get deals done.
Absolutely.
And if we're talking stupid money and we're still going to try to win, like Brian said earlier, maybe he can sell him on the fact that if you win, you make money. Even in the situation we're in now. If you're going to tell me the Dodgers lost money this year, I'm going to tell you you're fucking insane.
Right.
Okay? I'm going to tell you. You're going to tell me that they maybe didn't make as much as they usually do? Of course.
And honestly, and there's people on Twitter still to this day that are like trying to defend the owner, which I don't know if that's friggin' John Middleton's burners. I don't understand. But it's like, fam, nobody needs to explain to any of us. Like, we understand there are no fans in the stadiums. We got it. But you know what the Phillies have that a lot of other, especially smaller level teams don't have? Yeah, a 14, 15-year contract with Comcast Sportsnet. I'm pretty sure COVID didn't keep any of the games off of television. I'm pretty sure all the games were still – I think the TVs were still working, right? Mm-hmm. So the money's still coming in. So I don't want to hear like, oh, well, they have a 15-year lucrative contract that's guaranteed.
Yep.
It's like an NBA.
It's their biggest source of revenue.
It's a supermax contract, Tom. You know what I'm saying?
Supermax.
Yes.
I mean, it pays everybody's bills for the next 15 years, and this guy going to claim the money you lost. All right? Guess how much money you would have made in more jersey sales if you did things the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you're winning games, you drive traffic. All right? You drive traffic. And you know how many people were at her home that were just looking to buy shit? So if you're smart, you would have tried to win last year, you jackass. All right. And maybe you wouldn't have lost 125. Maybe you would have only lost 25. Right. You know what I'm saying? So big difference if you were trying to win on where your bottom line would have been. And for you to even tell me you lost 125, I think it's a fucking flat out joke. But in this year, you can tell me that you lost 125, but you, like Ryan said, you already made your money.
Yes.
So
guaranteed. It doesn't matter if you lose 0. You can win 0 games for the next 5 years, and that money's still coming to you. 85, 90% of the MLB, they don't have that, John. You know what I'm saying? They don't have those guarantees.
Mm-hmm.
You do because you lucked into owning a team in a big market.
you think the Lakers lost money?
Absolutely.
You think the LA Lakers lost money this year after winning a chip?
Yep.
With jersey sales? Hell no. Marquis says Dodgers sold out of a lot of their merchandise. This is why they got to give the Dodgers a lot of money. You know, I mean, it's just you win, you sell. You stink.
Absolutely.
Even if you were a playoff team, he might have only lost half of what he lost. You know what I mean? Even if you're just a playoff team. So, I mean, you signed Harper to sell jerseys.
Yes.
Fine. But then, you know, if you're winning, you're selling more Alec Bomb jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
You're selling more of the up and coming younger guys. You're starting to sell them jerseys. You're selling more Nolas. You're selling more Wheelers. So, I mean, time's yours, you know, Johnny.
The last thing I was saying, because it infuriates me, and it feels good, even though like I'm whisper screaming, so I don't like wake up my entire freaking house at 2:00 in the morning. But like, you could be bad, okay? Like we know the team has sucked since 2013. Like that, there's no question. We understand that you're gonna have lull periods. We went through. I mean, I was alive, but I was too young to really experience it from the 93 to 06. But that happened. You know what I'm saying?
I experienced it, yeah.
Yeah. So like,
I did too.
So like we know there's lull periods, and we understand that, okay? And we're gonna be back eventually. But there's one thing to be bad, and another thing to be an embarrassment, which we've been, and for the people that run things to act like the fans are stupid. That's what infuriates me to no end. Like that's like I don't try and rip Howie Roseman because I think he's a bad guy or because he's made a couple bad moves. No, it's beyond that. It's because you lie on the freaking screen like we don't have freaking Google. Like we don't watch the games. You understand? Yep. And it's crazy because these people, like John Middleton's, he's successful in his own business. That's why he can be a freaking owner. So it's beyond me to think, okay, for someone who's so successful, how can you be such a friggin' idiot with this? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just it pains me because at the end of the day, because of these moves or lack of moves sometimes, and his words and the way he's going about things, we've gone from an organization that's been bad to borderline irrelevant. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like even in this city, we think like, what's with the Phillies? Like what? The only time you hear about the Phillies is talking about how bad they are, or how embarrassing they are, or how bad a press conference was, or how bad the bullpen was when we blew a 6-run lead.
Yeah, not much good. Not much good's come out of the Phillies. You know, I have a couple big splashes, right? So, All right, boys, this was fun. Past the 3-hour mark of the show. You know, we thanks to the guys who jumped on, Marquise and Rome, for jumping on with us for a little bit. You know, the door's open for anybody out there. Any Friday that wants to jump on with us, come on, talk to us. You know, we leave you on for as long as you like. All right, we're here to have fun. So, boys, great show. Thank our doc, make him yours, Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill. Locations, Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Jake Friel, Brian Daly. Family out there, appreciate you joining us. Like, subscribe, follow, download. Thanks, Don. You know the deal.
Thanks, Don.
You know the deal.